we are a nation in decline. We are a failing nation. We are a nation that has the highest inflation in over 40 years, where the stock market just finished the worst first half of a year in more than 5 decades. We are a nation that has the highest energy cost in its history, and we are no longer energy independent or energy dominant, which we were just 2 short years ago. We are a nation that is begging Venezuela and Saudi Arabia for oil. We are a nation that surrendered in Afghanistan, leaving behind dead soldiers, American citizens, and $85 billion worth of the finest military equipment in the world. We are a nation that allowed Russia to devastate a country, Ukraine, killing hundreds of thousands of people, and it will only get worse. We're a nation that has weaponized its law enforcement against the opposing political party like never before. We've never seen anything like this. We're a nation that no longer has a free and fair press. Fake news is about all you get. We are a nation where free speech is no longer allowed, where crime is rampant like never before, where the economy has been collapsing, where more people died of COVID in 2021 than in 2020. We're a nation that is allowing Iran to build a massive nuclear weapon and China to use the trillions and trillions of dollars it's taken from the United States to build a military to rival our own. We are a nation that over the past 2 years is no longer respected or listened to all around the world. And we are a nation that is hostile to liberty and freedom and faith. We are a nation whose economy is floundering, whose stores are not stocked, whose deliveries are not coming, and whose educational system is ranked at the bottom of every list. We are a nation that in many ways has become a joke. But soon we will have greatness again. It was hardworking patriots like you who built this country, and it is hardworking patriots like you who are going to save our country. There is no mountain we cannot climb. There is no summit we cannot reach. There is no challenge we cannot meet. There is no victory we cannot have. We will not bend. We will not break. We will not yield. Ever, ever, ever. We will never give in. We will never give up. And we will never, ever back down. We will never let you down as long as we are confident and united. The tyrants we are fighting do not stand even a little chance. Because we are Americans, and Americans kneel to God and God alone. And it is time to start talking about greatness for our country again.
Welcome back to another night of Stick with Koolfrogg. I hope everybody is having a wonderful night. How's it going, AmericaShirts?
Yellow.
Heck yeah. Let's
Liz
say hi to the
Cheney
audience.
is
She is.
destroyed.
Liz Cheney. It didn't take longer than, what, an hour? And then she went and she
Oh my
conceded.
God. It didn't even take an hour. I mean, within like 10 minutes of them announcing what the hell was going on there, they called it. She was up within 20 minutes. Haggerty was up.
I mean,
by
I give it to her.
points.
She actually stood up and actually, conceded. So she gave up. She's like, all right, fine. I lost.
She should have gave up like 2 weeks ago, I think. It's probably should have been more accurate. I know everybody's like, oh, we're going to have a stream party. We're going to watch her get wrecked. We're going to watch. It's like 5 minutes. She's wrecked. Done. I was like,
right?
What the hell? It's all over. It's over in 5 minutes.
We're gonna actually watch. We're gonna watch Alaska. We'll see what happens with Alaska, and see how the ranked choice voting that they're actually going to be using is going to benefit uh, them at all, if if it's going to benefit them at all. Republicans have that are more prone to splitting their votes as opposed to Democrats are. Democrats are hard headed and they're not going to split votes. Everybody's going to be like, oh, this is number one. Remember, this is number one. Everybody remember who is number one, and it's really going to be something to see um, how it actually works itself out. I know this is only a primary, but we actually get to watch Sarah Palin to see if how that works out for her.
Yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
How many congressional districts do they have in Alaska? I think, what do they have, like 2, 3?
I don't know exactly.
Pretty sure
There's
it's like
more
2 or
than that. I don't remember. We'll look at that a little closer here in a few minutes. Let's say hi to everybody. Hello, California Princess. Hello, TR. How is it going? Ish is in the house. T in Tennessee. Welcome back. It's been a while. They call me Rose. Brian Manuel. What is going on, brother? Hope all is going good for you. Bim Z. What else we got here? That's what it looks like for now. The 9 of you. That's awesome. I'm glad that you're all here. Oh, I missed one. Oh, welcome Iowa, not a vampire. That was a new sub that I had picked up today. Glad to see you here. Hopefully we can put on a good show for you. So,
Interesting name.
what's that?
Interesting name.
Yeah. Iowa, not a vampire.
Just like to clarify, I'm actually not a vampire. In case you were wondering, it's like, okay. Okay.
So they
Don't know who was
didn't
asking, but
quite
okay.
start voting in Alaska. We will be paying attention. I'm going to pull up a screen here real quick to show you what I'm actually looking at. I don't know if you got a different version of what you're looking at. I'm looking at the 270 to win. There's the 270 to win. So then here you can see check mark for Hagman winning Arizona primary over Liz Cheney. Look at that, 65% to 30%. Awesome. Good to see. So, you can see that she still took a couple of counties in there, but look at the rest. Right, get wrecked.
Get wrecked.
The issue is now that Harriet Hagman is actually the person that's in that spot over Liz Cheney, and we know Wyoming's a very red state, so any opposition from the other side is really probably not going to be anything to be concerned about.
Democrats to vote for Liz Cheney. That Liz Cheney is the new establishment representative for the Dems, because the Dems are a total establishment. They're total globalist hacks, and so is Liz. And so it's like, hey, vote for our globalist hacky here, Democrats. And so they were trying to switch parties and do that, and they still lost.
I wouldn't doubt that she wouldn't actually switch parties and try actually running as the Democrat and actually trying to get something out of it. What I was going to say, though, is Harriet Hagman, we need to pay attention to her. We really do. We need to pay attention to everything that she's doing. And she says that she's for God and she's for whatever. When it comes down to it, we really need to pay attention to what she's actually going to be doing. And if she's going to actually, become corrupt like the rest, because, once you're a politician.
Early on, that and I didn't know anything about her except for what I was reading from one place, and I went back and actually read the article, and I realized that I skipped over a couple of things when I was reading it, because it was kind of like, what the hell, why would they do this? And I was kind of flustered when I was first reading it, and I was saying that Harriet Hagman was a friend of Liz Cheney, when in reality that's not at all true. As a matter of fact, it was, I think, like almost a decade ago now. They were on a campaign because it was like the Republican Party. And so she was there with Liz and with these other people in the Wyoming Republican Party. It wasn't that like, oh, they're just BFFs. Like that was them being, in my opinion, a bit slanderous, actually. When I went back and read that article, I think like a week and a half ago now, 2 weeks ago, I went back and I read it, and I was like, oh my God, I skimmed over several things that I should have looked at. And they were just they were making these grandiose assumptions about her that were not accurate to her at all. And so I mean just because somebody was in the Republican Party and was trying to work their way up within the party, within the state, right? And Liz Cheney is a part of the Republican Party, and so of course you're going to run across her, and of course you're going to see her in meetings. Of course there's going to be somebody there that's going to be like, "Hey, you want to take a picture, whatever?" Yeah, and like so. I mean, there's going to be all this kind of stuff. Like that's just how political events work themselves out. Like that's not a weird thing. So for them to say, and for me to repeat that, so I apologize for repeating that. She's not for Liz Cheney at this point. And she's made that very clear. And she's been on Steve Bannon's show, and she's been on several other very based shows that no establishment hacky would ever even get close to. And she has said several things that I am very happy about. So, yeah, I'd just like to correct the record.
Right. So just because things have changed, I didn't think it was actually going to happen so quick. I thought it was going to take some time. I really did think it was going to take a lot longer. Like we would actually be sitting here and still watching the map and watching things happen or whatever, and it wasn't going to be over right away. When it happened that fast, I'm like, oh wow, that's amazing. Hello, Ash. How you doing, dear?
Oh, by the way, the Cheneys aren't even from Wyoming. They're from Texas. So, yeah, that's also a thing.
I mean, Daddy was from Texas, right?
Yeah. Then Daddy went up there with everybody else.
Right.
And that's
Daddy moved up there to take the seat or whatever. And, and technically Liz is from Wyoming.
Well, I don't think she was born there. I think they just moved the family up there.
Thinking she was for some reason. I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Wrong.
So, real quick, this is just a little 2-minute clip of the stuff that she actually said as she was actually conceding the primary.
Never in our nation's 246 years have we seen what we saw.
That's
like so many Americans.
Okay, somebody really has some really crappy audio system.
This is her revenge.
They cut that. That's what they cut that off of. Good job, MSNBC. You suck. God, you suck. That's horrible. Oh my Lord. She pretty much comes out and she's right. You didn't like my show that I had produced for y'all, and now y'all took me out of the race forever.
So now I'm going to blare this into your eardrums and make your eardrums bleed as I walk away in disgrace.
What's up, TR?
Just comes
How's it
onto
going,
the
my
microphone and just like
mad core. I'll try bringing every over when fair ends. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I was gonna actually go pay her if you didn't. Thank you.
Yeah, I was over there in the chat like, what was it, 2 hours ago, I guess? And I typed into the chat. I said, "What the hell is the party for? She already won."
Yeah, right. I mean, and that's pretty much what it was. Is we were going to do a watch party to watch it all happen or whatever. And how it happened so quickly is just amazing. It really was.
That was the early vote. Like they're just tallying up all of the people that were there the day of. So they counted the early vote to start with, and all of the early vote was like 10 and 20% in Harriet Hagerman's.
We do need to pay attention to where Alaska really is, because now Alaska time, they're only at like 8:15 right now. So nothing should be coming in for another 45-ish minutes is my thought. At 9 o'clock, I believe that's what they were supposed to do. So we do need to start paying attention here, as soon as we possibly can. I'm really more concerned. I mean, obviously, I don't want Lisa Murkowski anymore, in there anymore.
Oh God, no.
John, however you pronounce his last name, Scheisse. Hopefully he actually gets the spot that he was actually pushed for. The way things are going, it sounds like he probably will. Koolfrogg, I just seen that Alaska won't be able to have votes tabulated into early September because of the ranked choice voting. And at least according to the article, I read. Oh well, we'll see. We'll see if we'll see what happens. If that just so happens to be, we'll let you know in September.
Kelly Tshibaka is the GOP for that Trump has endorsed. Kelly Tshibaka.
Kelly Chabaska.
I think it's how you pronounce that.
Oh, okay. She's down further. So Kelly Chabaska.
Yeah, I don't know why the hell they have. There's quite a few candidates. Of course, again, right? Like they changed this up. There. I don't know what the hell this OTH party is.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. There's 19 candidates for Alaska Senate primary.
Yeah, this is a bunch of horse crap. That's just again, right? Like they have that system,
rank choice shit.
Rank choice. And so they have all of these people, and then they just, spread it out, field it out, and then that way they get.
And that's why it's going to take until September, because they have to. They take the lowest votes, and then they say, okay, those ones are gone, and then they go and they go off of the second vote, who voted for the second person the most, and it only happens once one of them gets over the 50%. I was over on Fair and Balanced in her panel there for a little while, and she had actually played the video on how ranked choice voting actually worked. It's a very interesting watch, really, when you actually see how it actually works out and how things drop off, and then the second gets voted or whatever. And
I mean, how the hell is this even an election? Like, I'm just going to vote for like multiple people. I'm just going to put, well, this is my second choice. Like, what the hell is this shit? You vote for who the hell you want to vote for. You don't, it's like, oh, well, this was everybody's second place option. Like, well, that's not how this works. That should not be how this works at all. What the hell? The Constitution requires that everybody be given a Republican form of government and be allowed to have elections. Well, how the hell? I mean, how the hell is this even an election? Like what? Oh, I'm gonna pick like multiple candidates. What the hell? Like, you pick out the candidate you're gonna vote for. I mean, this is just so stupid. Like, this is a recipe for disaster. I mean, what the shit? I mean, this is like whenever that you were talking about the vice presidential thing, right? That's what they did with the vice president. It was a ranked choice vote. It was, okay, well, he won second place, so let's just bring him in. I mean, it's insane. Like, nobody voted for that. And they found that out pretty damn quickly with Jefferson and Adams, and they cut that off really quick. But I guess Alaska thinks they know better. So instead of having two, we'll just have like a gazillion. And we'll just choose between them, and that'll get things picked out really quick. That'll be great. I know, speedy process here. Make sure that everybody knows what's going on with this, and we'll just take until damn September with this shit. Like, what the hell? But see, we can talk about this openly because we're not talking about Democrats. We're talking about Republicans, and that's probably going to be okay with the YouTube.
So I mean, real quick. So, hello, JMK. Hello. Let's talk about prepping. Prepping says ranked choice voting is actually very interesting. You vote for your most favorite to least, and it gets cross compared. And basically, what it was is there's 4 options that you vote for.
But that's not a vote. Like a vote is like,
I get what you're saying.
That's so
I really do. But their options because it is a thing. They do have to do it. You can't just go vote for one and not the other 3. You must fill out the ballot completely to actually get your vote counted, right? So, say if you want Kelly, so everybody goes and mark, or a bunch of people mark Kelly on the first one. A bunch of people mark, Lisa Murkowski on the second one or whatever, and then you got John where you mark on the third line. And that's just saying that's how I voted, and then I go and I vote for Buzz because I'm like, he's got a fun name, whatever, because I don't know who the 4th candidate would actually be. Well, then all of a sudden, it just so happens to be that everybody else thought Buzz was a fun name, and they put him in number 2. Well, now all of a sudden you're looking at some random off the wall person that you have no clue who they are winning races.
Right, exactly. It's like this random wackadoodle.
It could be okay, because that's how you're going to get your your independent or your off ranked person or whatever to actually get that. It I really see races like Sarah Palin's race that we're going into or whatever that we're going to be looking at. I really see her having an issue because of the way people vote. If Democrats are very pointed towards one area, whereas Republicans are kind of more widespread and have more thought and use their brain as opposed to going along with what media tells them to vote for. So media will go out and tell Democrats, hey, by the way, number 2, this for number 3, and this for number 4. That way we get number 1. Everybody gets what they want that way. GOP is not going to tell you to do that. They're going to look at you and they're going to be like, well, you should vote the way you feel and how you feel. So I really think that there's going to be an issue when it comes down to how Sarah Palin actually comes into play. I really see that she might have an issue. Let's see. Let's talk about preferences. You give 4 points to the most favorite, 3 points to the second favorite, 2 to the next, and 1 to the least. Most points wins, allows you to say have say even if your guy doesn't win. Well, I really don't. I'm with shirts on it. I really don't really care for how it works. I really don't like that we're voting for a fourth person that we have no clue who it is.
You campaign for it. You get a group of people together and you do it. That's how this works. That's called the voting process. I mean, this is insane. I mean, that would just be like, again, the word vote means something in the English language. I mean, it's not just like, well, choose whatever the hell. I mean, you go to the Super Bowl, it's like, we'll choose whatever team you want to, pick or win or whatever. Like, and then all the referees sit there on the field. They're like, well, I'd like them to win first and then second and then like whatever, like what? Like, no, there's a competition and whoever wins out wins out. And if there's a third party that comes in to win out, then that's what wins out. If your third party can't get people together, then I'm sorry. Them winning by some default over some processes, some complicated processes, that's stupid. That causes people to be very upset. That causes a lot of crap. And again, think about like in the House of Representatives, let's say, for example. What if everybody in the House of Representatives was like, they just get like a giant, huge omnibus bill, right? Or like some giant, huge bill of bills. And they were just like, well, I like this bill first, and I'd like this bill to be second. I'd like this bill to be third. I'd like this bill to be fourth. I'd like this bill to be whatever. What the hell? Like, how is that even representation at that point? How is this representation? Because then at that point, you would just have like all these different, and then, well, this bill over here and this giant, huge bill of bills, this part of it got passed all the way through, even though it was like everybody's fourth option or whatever the hell. It got more of it, however they did the ranking, and like, oh well, it now gets passed on to the Senate. Like what? No, you put your vote behind it. Period. You either vote for it or you don't. That's how this works. You put your vote behind it.
That's how it's supposed to work. That's what it comes down to. That's how it's supposed to work. But we have people that don't like how things work and they like to change them to make them their way. What's up, Doc? Short order cooks in the house.
What's up, Doc?
It really screwed up my flow. Like, seriously, having her actually win what she had won before we actually came live and actually were able to go through some of these articles, I'm like,
yeah, no,
like this isn't gonna, none of this is gonna make sense if I go and I say anything before it or whatever, because it's like, okay, that's non-existent any longer. It's like, oh, okay, that article doesn't need to be read. We did have some other interesting things to actually throw into context or whatever afterward. I'm trying to figure out where I should actually be as opposed to where I was going to be. Because, again, we might not even hear tonight, according to what somebody had said about it, reading what happens in Alaska. It could take them a long time to become, figure out who the primary is. Like almost probably up to November, when you think about it. If it takes that long for them to actually figure out how to do it, maybe it's not the best way to do it. Uh, maybe we should actually think about how what AmericaShirts is actually saying is that's not how it works.
Right. I mean, that's insane. It's so insane. One person, Tierra Great X is there. One person, one vote. He said that in chat. Absolutely. I mean, that's the only way to guarantee the best.
They're saying
process.
1 person, 4 votes.
Yeah, one person, like 85 votes. Like, how the hell does that work? Like, that's stupid. That it just leads to a mountain of insanity, like this woman.
And obviously, if it's going to take that long for them to tabulate it, it's not something that you can actually just feed through a system and be like, okay, it's going to calculate it and it's going to tabulate it the way it's supposed to, whatever, and it's going to read the card out. It's not that way anymore. They call me Rose Trump voice. Yeah, I don't know. I just have him stuck in my head because what he had said earlier, because I was on Fair and Balanced there or whatever for a little bit. I read what Trump had said about the win on Truth Social. It was great. She asked me straight out how I felt. I said, well, let's do Donald Trump some justice here real quick. And I went and I read off his thoughts, and she went and brought it up on screen. They all thought it was great that I did it the way I did. So it says congratulations to Harriet Hagman on her great and very decisive win in Wyoming. This is wonderful result for America and a complete rebuke of the unselect committee of political hacks and thugs. Liz Cheney should be ashamed of herself and the way she acted in her spiteful, sanctimonious words and actions towards others. Now she can finally disappear into the depths of the political oblivion where I am sure she will be much happier than she is right now. Thank you, Wyoming.
Oh my God. That's so perfect with Trump. Holy shit.
That's what he wrote on Truth
just,
Social
like,
2 hours ago.
Her head.
So then there's a couple more things that have come in since then. That was a very eloquent
way of get wrecked.
Right. Get wrecked, loser. Bitch. See, he's added more since. So let's see, that was 2 hours ago. 50 minutes ago, he says, Liz Cheney's uninspiring concession speech in front of a tiny crowd of great state of Wyoming focused on her belief that the 2020 presidential election was not, despite massive and conclusive evidence to the contrary, rigged and stolen. We're not contesting that. And that's not even counting the fact that many election changes in numerous states were not approved by state legislatures. An absolute must. Liz Cheney is a fool who played right into the hands of those who want to destroy our country. Again, we're not contesting that. We know that Joe Biden is the most relevant president with the most votes ever. We're not contesting.
Ever.
I'm just reading what Donald Trump had to say. So then 24 minutes ago, he says, I assume that with the very big Liz Cheney loss, far bigger than had been anticipated, the January 6th Committee of Political Hacks and Thugs will quickly begin the beautiful process of dissolution. This was a referendum on the never-ending witch hunt. The people have spoken. That's all he said. That's all he said so far. That was 25 minutes ago, 26 minutes ago that he put that
Beautiful thing.
Yeah, he's just wonderful. And call us what you'd like. It doesn't really matter. Yes, we are Trump fans. And yes, Trump 2024, folks. 2024.
Trump DeSantis 2024. Who? What?
DeSantis will be his running mate. Yes.
Allegedly.
We don't know this for a fact.
Don't say it too loud. The lefties might hear. We want them to spiral themselves out of control.
Outpost says it sounds more like Michael Jackson. Yeah, screw you. At least I can actually do halfway decent. I'd like to see you even try.
Okay, so this is the utterly delusional Liz Cheney. I mean, literally delusional. This delusion of grandeur that she wishes for herself is just like, I mean, she is losing her shit.
Real
at this
quick
point.
before you play this, TR says Koolfrogg with 18 candidates ranked choice voting gets rid of the need for a runoff election, which would have been necessary if they hadn't had switched voting methods. I kind of agree with you, other than the fact that most likely there wouldn't be 19 people on the ticket. Because most of them would have already kind of stepped out and said, okay, I'm not going to come close to even winning anything. Just saying. Go ahead.
Well, Liz Cheney, and somebody mentioned it in the chat, she believes that she is Abraham Lincoln now.
That's what that clip was that I had. Was her
is,
actually going to the Lincoln thing.
This
Liked
is
and noted. Love you, Robin. Thank you.
This is complete insanity, by the way. Let's just play this. All of the 5 people in the field, they spread them out. So
that was a clap reel. That wasn't. There was no audience.
Right, exactly. It was a clap reel. Pardon me. Right. Thank you for correcting.
The great and original champion of our party, Abraham Lincoln, was defeated in elections for the Senate and the House before he won the most important election of all. Lincoln ultimately prevailed. He saved our Union, and he defined our obligation as Americans for all of history.
Oh my God. Wait.
Real quick, thank you to the
Elections for
20
the Senate.
that decided to come here as opposed to going and watching anything else. We are up against our main competition right now. He has over 6,000 people watching him right now. Go ahead.
Abraham Lincoln was defeated in elections for the Senate.
So wait.
The great and original champion of our party, Abraham Lincoln, was defeated in elections for the Senate and the House before he won the most important election of all.
She thinks that she is now somehow deserving of the presidency. What?
Of course. You know, what else would she do? She needs to continue to run somewhere.
I mean, obviously,
otherwise,
right?
her corrupt family's done.
Exactly.
She doesn't want her corrupt family to end. She wants it
Exactly.
to continue. So that way, if
Right.
she can continue, eventually one of her children can also do the same thing.
Sounds like press button clapping. Short order cook. I know, right? Like, here's JMK. That escalated quickly. I know, right? It's like you lose the most that anyone's ever lost a damn congressional seat in freaking history faster than you can freaking, I don't know, like blink your eyeball and or do a winky face or whatever at somebody and be like, wink, she's going to lose. It's like, oh, God, she lost. Like, hey, I mean, like, faster than lightning. She's done. She's over. And then here she is. Guess what, folks? I'm going to be the president. What?
Lincoln ultimately prevailed. He saved our Union, and he defined our obligation as Americans for all of history.
So now she's claiming she's the savior of America.
Of course.
She's going to save the Union, right? Well, wait, we're not in a civil war. Oh, it doesn't matter. She's going to save everybody. She is the great Liz Cheney, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, this freaking woman is insane.
Speaking at Gettysburg of the great task remaining before us, Lincoln said that we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, and for the people shall not perish from this earth. As we meet here tonight, that remains our greatest and most important task. Most of world history.
Who died to try to get you elected, Liz? That's what I'd like to know. Because you and your daddy did a lot of things to get a lot of other people dead for your own selfish gains. But I don't think there's a lot of, bloodshed for freedom going on for you. A lot of bloodshed for money in your daddy's back pocket is what was going on there. Oh, but no, again, we're Liz Cheney. We're the great, powerful Liz Cheney of the great and powerful Cheneys. We will redefine reality for you. We're the heroes.
Before you hit
is a
play,
story of violent conflict,
hold up,
of servitude
stop,
and
pause.
suffering.
Okay, she's done with that one.
Oh, she was done anyway.
What the hell?
So real quick, TR says
got
Vicada Law is now my replay show. While I'm working, I'd rather watch Koolfrogg. He's actually reads his chat. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. TR also says, is she now saying that this speech is better than Gettysburg or comparable to the Gettysburg Address? It kind of sounded like that. Like that's what she was trying to go for. Like she's like, oh, look at me. I can, say what I want about, the Gettysburg Address, or I can say anything I want about Lincoln because I'm in his party. No, you're not the same party. He wasn't as corrupt as you. Obviously, there was some kind of corruption there, but no, not as corrupt at all.
Yeah, the caption of that video is "The woman is deluded."
Oh yeah, we're gonna get there. I see
God.
Sinbad say show Hagman's victory speech. Oh my lord, we'll get there because that victory speech is great. It's wonderful. She did a very good job on that speech.
Whoa, wait a minute.
We're gonna at least a part of it anyway. We're not gonna do the whole thing. That speech lasted quite some time. She had that pre-written. Obviously, she knew what she was gonna do. She knew. She just knew.
Here we go. Wait. Before we do this, flip up. There's a couple of at least Cheney's planning 2024 run. Bring it, witch.
Go, Jack.
It's so
Liz,
wonderful.
I think you got some issues. It looks like you need to shave.
Someone tell her to stop using my name.
Oh no.
The memes, they're just rolling out at this point. Oh no. I don't want to know what that was.
So, a victory speech from Hagman.
Today, Wyoming has spoken.
Just
Now, do
that
you think
alone.
that was-
Look at the audience that's sitting right
Listen
on
to
front of
people.
her. They're all so excited because they're all like, yeah, it happened. And it happened in such a quick period of time. It was ridiculous.
Wyoming has spoken on behalf of everyone all across this great country who believes in the American dream, who believes in liberty, and who recognizes that our natural rights, the freedom of speech, freedom of religion, equal protection, and due process come from God. They do not come from government.
She said they come from God. They do not come from government.
And the government cannot take them away. Wyoming has spoken on behalf of everyone who understands that our government is a government of, by, and for the people. And that we can and do control the levers of power when we engage, when we participate, and when we hold our elected officials accountable for their actions.
Get wrecked!
Wyoming has spoken on behalf of everyone who is concerned that the game is becoming more and more rigged against them. And what Wyoming has shown today is that while it may not be easy, we can dislodge entrenched politicians who believe they've risen above the people they are supposed to represent.
Get wrecked, bitch. Oh, that's exactly what she should have said. But obviously, she believes in God, and she believes that our rights were given to us by God and not the government. The government should have no right to tell us what to do, when to do it, or how to do it. It just should never be the way it is right now. It was written that way on purpose. She is awesome. Unfortunately, I'm in Ohio, and I don't know how I feel about JD Vance. Yeah, I don't know how to feel for you either, TR.
I
really
believe he's
don't.
great from everything that I've heard and everything that I've been looking at.
Again, we need to actually pay attention to these new up and comings that are JD Vance. Who's ever else is going to win any of these primaries and potentially take seats? We need to actually know their level of corruption, because obviously everybody's a little bit corrupt, right?
Well, I mean, I think this is a little, a little exemplary of that, maybe.
Okay, hold on here. Let's see if we can't make that. Give you a full screen. Dad shoots someone in the head. Lincoln was shot in the head. So yeah, we're basically the same.
It's so perfect. I mean, exactly, right? Like, she thinks it's like, oh yeah, we fought a war, like people die, like, oh, and Lincoln was the great or whatever. It's like, yeah, exactly, like, yeah, my dad shot somebody, Lincoln got shot. Yeah, we're the same thing. It's like, yeah, it's totally great. We're all the same. It's fine. Yeah.
I have to deal with something quick. Keep talking.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, the memes. Oh my God, people, the memes. I mean, you have to go to. There's more. I have to share this one down. But the memes of Liz Cheney as Lincoln. I mean, these things just keep. I mean, as soon as she said that I'm Lincoln, there was like 80 million memes of this kind of thing that came out. I mean, it's just unbelievable. the level of memeing.
Has received the most votes in this primary. She won. I called her to concede the race. This primary election is over.
Oh, the memes.
Sorry about that. I had to deal with the tadpole real quick and, say goodnight, because I was busy with Fair and Balance before I come on here. I didn't get a chance to actually say goodnight to him before I started. We kind of stepped into it real fast. Lincoln Continental? Matt says if I moved there, I would be crazy. Trump. Yeah, absolutely. Man. Absolutely.
There you go.
TFW, your dad blasted a guy in the face with a shotgun, and you're still the less popular Cheney. Oh, just so many. So many memes to come. This isn't the beginning. This is just the beginning of these memes. There's so many people that are going to be producing so many more to actually just make her look even more of a fool than she already is.
Oh,
I mean,
so
yeah,
fantastic.
I mean, a little. Some of them, I mean, they're memes, So I mean, some people take memes, super literal, and they don't think that they're just funny little jokes. That they could be cancerous and very bad. And it's like, yeah, I get that. I get that. They can be very bad, but they're gonna get worse. Imagine being the daughter of Darth Vader and not being Leia. I mean, only some would get that. I really don't get it. I'm not into that stuff. So.
Oh my god. Here's it just doesn't stop.
It just keeps going.
It just doesn't stop. It just keeps going. It's so freaking. Oh my god.
Meme Copium says illegal memes, you say?
Oh my god. It's so great.
Cheney has had a bunch of heart transplants and is evil and a giant warmonger, so we call him Darth Vader. Oh, okay. Makes sense.
Yeah, and then George Soros is the emperor.
What's up, Crystal?
Only at the end do you understand.
Okay. That's great. Let's see here. I did have some stranger articles that didn't pertain to any of this. It was kind of some other stuff that dealt with Trump. Adam Kinzinger really wants you to know Biden's Afghanistan disaster was mostly Trump's fault. It's like, oh, okay. Only if you say so. It's really amazing the stupid stuff that you can actually come across. Adam Kinzinger can, I don't know. I don't want to be mean to the guy, but I want to be mean to the guy and just tell him to go suck one. But we'll kind of go away from the polling stuff, and we'll come back. We'll come back to it soon because with it, I'm assuming we're going to start seeing some of this stuff. Actually, I know it's going to take a while, but we should start seeing some counting very soon here. So then Adam Kinzinger really wants you to know Biden's Afghanistan disaster is mostly Trump's fault. To loosely paraphrase a line or two from Tombstone, poor Adam Kinzinger, he can't help himself. He was born that way. As is the case of the fellow TDS-riddled pretend Republican House colleague Liz Cheney, who is likely to get her hat handed to her in Tuesday's Wyoming primary, the Illinois congressman never misses an opportunity to embarrass himself in the continual attacks against all things Donald Trump. In this episode, Kinzinger really took to the paint, commemorating on Monday the one-year anniversary of Joe Biden's inexcusable Afghanistan withdrawal disaster by doing his damnedest to convince us that despite the major beatdown and loss of political capital suffered by Biden, the withdrawal was mostly Trump's fault. No, really, check it out. Do not let my colleagues pretend today that Trump and Pompeo didn't set in motion the Afghanistan withdrawal. They did. I knew Pompeo in the House. He was a hawk in Afghanistan until Trump. He knew better. He owns this as well. Trump, Pompeo, and Biden all to blame. Can you spell delusional hatred? I'm surprised Kinzinger mentioned Biden at all. Obviously, he still blames him. He still blames him for being part of the issue, but he's still ignorant enough to actually turn around and say, "Oh, well, Trump said it in place that we're going to withdraw, but Trump wouldn't have withdrawn that way. Trump would have actually brought all of our military might with us. He wouldn't have just left everything there and withdrew just the troops in a radical, quick way. He would have taken the time And my opinion, and I could be wrong, but in my opinion, those 13 servicemen and women would not be a loss. They would actually still be with us today. Again, just my opinion. Incidentally, anyone who knows modicum amount about Mike Pompeo, the former director of the Central Intelligence Agency and Secretary of State under Trump, knows full well that the West Point and Harvard Law School standout is unlikely to be fundamentally swayed by those of lesser intelligence, much less be turned from a so-called hawk to a dove by Donald Trump. Sorry, Adam, that dog won't hunt. Joe Biden alone ignored the advice of the top generals, left Afghanistan officials and our NATO allies in the dark, and abandoned untold numbers of American civilians behind the lines of the most brutal terrorist regime on the planet, not Donald Trump. Politically driven Biden bypassed the military advisors and abandoned Trump's pullout plan, leading to the worst U.S. military and foreign policy disaster in decades. Make no mistake, Biden and Biden alone is to blame for the Afghanistan debacle, regardless of the protestations of the contrary, or to the contrary, of obsessed, irrelevant Trump haters like whiny Adam Kinzinger. Here are a few of my favorite Twitter sphere responses to Kinzinger's foolishness. Here, check this out. Caitlyn, by definition, a woman. Wild because it literally is one of the most brain dead tweets I've ever read. But that's unsurprising because it's Kinzinger. Biden, the second he became POTUS, had the power to change literally anything he wanted to under the executive branch as CIC, Commander-in-Chief. If you didn't catch it, I didn't read off of Kinzinger's thing to begin with. This is, do not let my colleagues pretend today that Trump and Pompeo didn't send the motion of Afghanistan withdrawal. They did. I know Pompeo is in the House. And he's the hawk of Afghanistan until Trump. Like, I did read this. I just didn't read it in the tweet. Exactly. Biden has repeatedly nullified Trump's directives since the first day in office, including killing the Keystone XL pipeline project, rejoining the ridiculous Paris Climate Accord, and reviving the previously failed Iran nuclear talks. The notion that he could not have pulled off a reset in the withdrawal from Afghanistan was preposterous at the time, and this is preposterous still. This is M. Thomas Gallagher. So Trump and Pompeo made the decision to abandon the Bagram Air Base first and try to evacuate thousands to the Kabul airport, an obvious tactical mistake that cost many lives. They're saying that wasn't the Biden administration, but rather the Trump administration. They're all questioning because that's what the left knows how to do. Point fingers at the other side and blame them. Because, you know, they're never to blame for anything that they've ever done.
Never.
Never.
Never, ever, 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 ever.
Bingo, a 10th grader presented basic facts could have figured out the abandoning of Bagram Air Force Base and relying on the Kabul airport to evacuate thousands was a terrible tactical mistake. Yeah, Joe did that. Adam, not Trump. Look at this. Aaron Harms says, it's almost like you fall over yourself trying to crap on Trump and anyone connected to his admin with zero proof as fast as you can tweet. You're the great pretender, a fake Republican and total stain on the Congress of the U.S. politics. Yeah,
He's he probably has a lot of stain in his pants too. What?
It says, yep, and Liz Cheney is an unbelievable for comment. The humorous fact that both Kinzinger and Cheney had been so consumed by Trump derangement syndrome that they flushed their respective political careers down the toilet in the process. Don't get me wrong. If these two pretend Republicans have been voting and speaking their conscience fine, but not as a member of the House Republican caucus. Therein lies the question, why have they continued to sit on the wrong side of the aisle?
Yeah, he's a giant shite stain, you
Right.
could say.
Because people like Kinzinger lied their way into their seat. He's not a Republican. I don't care who says what. If oh yeah, he is. No, he's not. He's not. He's the biggest rhino, one of the biggest rhinos of them all, and that's all he knows how to do. Just like Liz Cheney, is point fingers at their side and say, "Oh, it had to have been Trump's fault that we pulled out." No, it's not Trump's fault we pulled out. It had nothing to do with Trump. Trump didn't say, "Oh, we need to do this. We need to do it right now on the spot." I mean, next they'd go and they would actually start blaming him for all these billions and billions of dollars that Biden's been signing out. Because he signed another bill today. He actually signed the climate and healthcare spending bill.
Do we have the clip of him doing that? And then what he did afterwards?
Yes, I do. I don't know if I have. Yeah, I do. I got 14 minutes of it from Forbes. From Forbes.
Oh my God, 14 minutes.
Yeah, there's 14 minutes of it. Because there's a little bit of a speech.
At an event on Tuesday, President Biden signed into law the Inflation Reduction Act. The landmark legislation passed in the Senate earlier in August and passed on a party line vote in the House of Representatives last week. President Biden celebrated the passage of the bill and claimed that, quote, the American people won and the special interests lost. The president also condemned Republicans for voting against the legislation, saying that they voted for special interests and not the American people. President Biden touted all of the legislative
President Biden can fuck off because he does everything
the bipartisan infrastructure
bill,
the CHIPS Act, and the American Rescue Plan. Biden called the Inflation Reduction Act, quote, the biggest step forward on climate ever.
What the hell does that have to do with inflation reduction? Who the hell freaking knows? Just say stupid shit. Build back better, great reset, to hell with humanity. Wow, there's like 3 more people in there than there was in the Jeep parking lot.
Majority Leader Schumer, Chuck, you've been a good friend a long, long time. And Joe, I never had a doubt. Joe had an operation on his shoulder. I just want you to know it wasn't because of anything we did. He's in great shape. And our whip, Mr. Clyburn, you're amazing. And I am reminded often by my staff, were not for you, your wife telling you to endorse me, I wouldn't be standing here.
If it weren't for you, for your wife telling you.
And also,
okay.
Congresswoman Castor and my good friend Frank Pallone, Congressman Pallone. Thank you for your leadership.
Because that's what we all do. We all
anything.
listen to our wives and what they actually suggest we do, as opposed to just doing our own thing. Right? Wrong.
Well, they couldn't be here. I especially want to thank Nancy Pelosi, who was instrumental in this law, and Vice President Harris for an incredible work.
Yes, it's like
And I'm about to sign the Inflation Reduction Act into law, one of the most significant
You are
laws
totally
in our
helping
history.
me out. So my,
Let me say,
we're campaigning for president.
Kendra Kate, welcome. She says, "Oh, comedy! I got here just in time. Hi."
Yeah, right.
from the start, with this law, the American people won and the special interests lost. The American people won.
Yes,
and the
special
interests
interest.
We're in a session of, for a while, people doubted whether any of that was going to happen. But we are in a season of substance. This administration began amid a dark time in America. As Jim said, a once-in-a-century pandemic, devastating joblessness, clear and present threats to democracy and the rule of law, doubts about America's future itself. And yet, we've not wavered, we've not flinched, and we've not given in. Instead, we're delivering results for the American people. We didn't tear down, we built up, we didn't look back, we looked forward, and today offers further proof.
Because you can totally restructure the entire economy with Build Back Better and the Great Reset and your Green New Deal. You can totally just completely and totally just snap your fingers, just bippity boppity boop, and then everything's there because of their Mike Hogan, Build Back Better, the 666. Yeah.
See, that's where I was going to go with it, because TR says after Biden signed the bill that was sold to the people as the Inflation Reduction Act, they're now calling it the Climate Tax and Medical Act. Lying about bills as always. Wrong. It's the Build Back Better Act that's been broken down into thousands and thousands of pieces, and this is what they're ramshackling through. Is
like
the thing they wanted to put through in one bill is being broke out into several different bills.
Because they have to. They're controlled.
Right, because they can't do it the way they wanted to do it.
They got to have it this way.
Yep, exactly.
They got to pass it through. They have no other. That's their thing. That is what they have to do. That's their marching orders. And so the idea, though, that he's like, oh, we're building back. Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot recreate the entire infrastructure of the United States without tearing what's there in existence down first to then, quote unquote, build back. I mean, build back from what? The combustion engine? I mean, what the hell? I mean, this is a total shit show. This is, again, there is nothing. There is no infrastructure ready for anything electric or anything sustainable, quote unquote. It doesn't exist. They're shoving you off a cliff.
Doc says, even the teleprompter says, come on, man.
Right.
Exactly.
So,
the soul of America is
vibrant.
vibrant.
Joe Biden, please.
Impeach him.
Impeach Joe
immediately.
Biden. Right
Don't
now.
ask questions. Just do it.
The future of America is bright, and the promise of America is real and just beginning.
Notice no one else is clapping but Washington elites.
The bill I'm about to sign is not just about today. It's about tomorrow. It's about delivering progress and prosperity to American families. It's about showing the American and the American people that democracy still works in America, notwithstanding all the talk of its demise. Not just for the privileged few, but for all of us. You know, I swore an oath of office to you and to God to faithfully execute the duties of this sacred office. To me, the critical duty of the president is to defend what is best about America. And that's not hyperbole. Defend what's best about America, to pursue justice, to ensure fairness, deliver results that create possibilities that all of us can live a life of consequence and prosperity in a nation that's safe and secure. That's the job. Fulfilling that pledge to you guides me every single hour of every single day in this job. No, presidents should be judged not only by our words, but by our deeds. Not by our rhetoric, but by our actions.
Welcome, Toy Box. That's an awesome. Just shut up, you spudsy potato, worthless goddamn minion.
Not by our promise, but by reality. And today is part of an extraordinary story.
You don't know what reality is anymore, Joe.
Real quick, because TR tagged me in it. He says, what was this like, 530 billion or something crazy like this? Yeah, exactly. It was 485. It was ridiculous.
That's
billion
being written by this administration and our brave allies in the Congress. This law that I'm about to sign finally delivers on a promise that Washington has made for decades to the American people. I got here as a 29-year-old kid.
Which is to destroy you.
Promising to make sure that Medicare would have the power to negotiate lower drug prices back then. Prescription drug prices. But guess what? We're giving Medicare the power to negotiate those prices now on some drugs. This means seniors are going to pay less for the prescription drugs. while we're changing circumstances for people in Medicare by putting a cap of a maximum of $2,000 a year on their prescription drug costs, no matter what the reason for those prescriptions are. That means if you're on Medicare, you'll never have to pay more than $2,000 a year, no matter how many prescriptions you have, whether it's for cancer or any other disease.
How many prescriptions
no more
do you
than
think Joe's on?
$2,000 a year.
Can we ask that?
And you all know it because a lot of it
Oh,
comes
no.
from families that need this. This is a godsend. This is a godsend for many
Who?
families, and so long overdue.
Liar. Not
The
for
Inflation
everybody.
Reduction Act locks in place lower health care premiums for millions of families who get their coverage under the Affordable Care Act.
By the way,
year, a family of four
What the
saved on
hell
average.
has he said thus far that reduces inflation?
Nothing.
Oh yeah,
Nothing, because this isn't the bill
goddamn
for that.
thing.
This is the Health and Care Act or whatever part of it.
Yep.
That was worth $473 billion, increasing that raises the $740 billion and may do nothing to reduce inflation. I actually have an article up after this that actually kind of goes into those numbers a little bit more.
$2,400 through the American Rescue Plan that I signed into law that the Congress
Mike
voted
Goldman.
in place.
No, Mike, go
In
ahead.
the years ahead, thanks to the Inflation
Go ahead,
Reduction
Dick.
Act,
Sorry.
13 million
Spastic.
people are going to continue to save an average of $800 a year on health insurance. The Inflation Reduction Act invests $369 billion to take the most aggressive action ever in confronting the climate, economic, or energy security. It's going to offer working families thousands of dollars in savings by providing them rebates to buy new and efficient appliances, weatherize their homes, get tax credit for purchasing heat pumps and rooftop solar, electric stoves, ovens, dryers. It gives consumers a tax credit to buy electric vehicles or fuel cell vehicles, new or used. And it gives them a tax credit of up to $7,500
So
if those vehicles were made in
burn
America.
all of your money on all this useless horse shit that doesn't even work half the goddamn time. That keeps right. So
What's
burn all
up,
your money
Dwight?
up on all that stupid crap. Oh, there's Dwight. Hey, what's up?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So burn up all your money trying to get an electric car, trying to pay off for all this stuff. By the way, this stuff is insanely expensive. No tax credit is going to get you these things. You're not going to be able to buy a totally, electric efficient washer dryer thing that hooks up with your giant solar panel in your house, whatever. Like that's not going to. A tax credit isn't going to give you that kind of money. So this is horse shit for one thing. And number two, again, encouraging people to buy up all this stupid crap that's then going to just sit there and rot because it's not going to be able to be used because the electric grid can't sustain anything like that. And those things aren't efficient to power everything in your home anyway. I mean, it's all a lie. It's all a lie. There is no truth to this, of all of this crap. And so, again, as I said before, he is shoving us off a cliff. I mean, I know the Democrats are the ones that put this through, so they're doing it as well. But Biden signed off on this. He is shoving us off a cliff with so much, and now this, signing off on this. We need to impeach him now, ladies and gentlemen. We need to get the ball rolling now. I want to hear every one of these new MAGA people say, we're going to impeach Biden when we get in. I want to hear him say it. I want to hear him say it loud and proud. Enough of this horse shit. Impeach him, impeach Harris, impeach whoever the hell else they have to. Get this stopped. Or else we're going to go into a depression for God knows how damn long. Or worse. And so, I mean, we don't have to, right? But that's what's happening with these people doing all this crap. They're collapsing everything on purpose. This has to be stopped. He has to be impeached.
Ish, I just
Comma,
rewound
la,
it
la,
about
la, la, la,
15
has to be
seconds to
impeached.
see if we can't actually hear, because he says, seriously, what did he say about cars? Not
He
positive.
needs out.
I'll do it another 5
So-
just to be sure if we actually get that.
Get tax credit for purchasing heat pumps and rooftop solar, electric stoves, ovens, dryers. It gives consumers a tax credit to buy electric vehicles or fuel cell vehicles, new or used.
New or used. Yes, because there's so many used electric vehicles just sitting around, Koolfrogg, right? Like, you go up to the local
Oh yeah,
used car shop.
absolutely. You
They're
go up
just
to the
everywhere.
used car. There's always, I see battery powered cars everywhere.
Everywhere, right?
Idiots. I think.
And
he said
again, inflation has already made.
$7,500 rebate. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right. Like so, inflation has already made all of these things go sky high. By the way, the prices for used cars are the most expensive that they've ever been. And so now he's telling you, oh yeah, take your tax credit, which again, the money isn't hardly worth anything because we're not reducing the inflation. We're actually spending another $300-something billion.
Hello,
And so we're making your money
beautifully
even worth
inappropriate.
less. But hey, take this tax credit and buy a used vehicle, which is already sky high because of inflation. Oh, and that used vehicle doesn't exist. I mean, it's just total gaslighting and just spitting and
That's what he
pissing
needs
in your
to do.
face.
He needs to gaslight as many people as he possibly can.
And rooftop solar, electric stoves, ovens, dryers. It gives consumers a tax credit to buy electric vehicles or fuel cell vehicles, new or used. And it gives them a tax credit of up to $7,500 if those vehicles were made in America.
Oh wow,
If they were
705.
made in America, you get it. Only the ones that were made in America. Now, how many of these sites are actually in the United States building battery-powered vehicles or electric vehicles, whatever you want to call them? Tell me how many
Pull
of
up
them
Ann
actually.
Kirk's chat right there. That's exactly what's happening. That's
So
what they want to do to the
Battery
entire
powered
country.
cars, what a joke. In California, when you can't get electricity. Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what they want to do everywhere, and they want to make it worse. I mean, that's the whole point that I'm talking about, right, people? Like, if you're from California, you know exactly what I'm talking about. In certain places, well, a lot of places in California, it's total blackouts, sometimes brownouts, whatever the hell, and it's total collapse. They want this for the entire country. Total collapse, third world status, fourth world status, and then the elites will get everything, and you'll be left with nothing. They'll be very happy, but you won't. That's the Great Reset. That's what they're pushing here. He has to be impeached now.
These exact words here. Up to
Right.
7,000. It's not that you're going to get $7,500. You're going to get up to. Nobody's going to get $7,500. I don't see it.
Yep.
American auto companies, along with American labor, are committing their treasure and their talent, billions of dollars in investment to make electric vehicles and battery and electric charging stations all across America. Made in America. All of it made in America. This new law also provides tax credits that's going to create tens of thousands of good paying jobs and clean energy manufacturing jobs. Solar factories in the Midwest and the South. Wind farms across the plains and off our shores. Clean hydrogen projects and more all across America. Every part of America. This bill is the biggest step forward on climate ever. And it's going to allow us to boldly take additional steps toward meeting all of my climate goals, the ones we set out when we ran. It includes ensuring that we create clean energy opportunities in frontline.
And again, everything he just said there is horse shit, because as we just said, this infrastructure doesn't exist. But yet they're going to force it on you here in the next couple of years. But that's okay.
Real
just
quick,
be without everything.
Just so that we're not lying to you or whatever. I just looked it up. This is where electric cars made in the USA. 1, Tesla Model Ys out of Austin, Texas. Tesla Model 3s out of Fremont, California. Lincoln Corsair out of Louisville, Kentucky. And the Honda Passport out of Lincoln, Alabama. Apparently, there's other ones as well. So there's the Model X out of Fremont, the Model S. Those are all Teslas. The Jeep Cherokee out of Belvidere, Illinois. The Honda Ridgeline out of Lincoln, Alabama. The Honda Odyssey and also the Pilot are all out of Lincoln, Alabama. So there are 10-ish cars that are built, electric cars that are built in the United States. And which one's the best one out of the bunch? The one that's going to give you the most horsepower so you can do what you want? Maybe the Jeep Cherokee. Anything else? Honda Pilot, Odyssey, Ridgeline,
I mean, how much is a Jeep Cherokee? As much as a house?
Passport. Yeah, right.
I mean, like, I mean, this is all just so goddamn insane. I mean, I'll give it.
I hope you want to out of your
where the hell it's
electric car, because that's what you're going to be doing if you actually can afford one. You're going to be able to not afford anything else.
Exactly, and you'll be making payments on that for the rest of your life, and you won't even be able to have a house. But see, the other thing too is that his masters at the UN and the WEF have announced they don't want you to even have private car ownership. So they want to remote into your electric vehicle that you have, or get rid of that one even. But you'll still have to pay for it, of course, because that's how that works. And then what they want to do is they want to give you a corporate car, a corporate vehicle, to take you to wherever the corporation wants you to go and then back. So, either you live in the pod or you get transported to this pod cubicle, or your house becomes the pod cubicle. Either way, however they do it and however they transition into, trying to get rid of everybody. I mean, this is total dystopic hell.
So TR says, to be fair, Tesla is 100% American American car built in America, and the Ford F-159 Lightning is also built in America. But I get your point, and 100% agree. Yeah, I mean, nobody's going to get a deal on any of these shitty vehicles. These ground polluting vehicles, because the second that you go and you need to get that battery placed for somewhere around 10K, that old battery gets trashed and it gets dumped into the landfills with everything else that's going into the landfills, and it's just going to contaminate the ground. So yeah.
But wait a minute. But we are the ones that hate the climate, Koolfrogg. We're the ones that despise the world. We don't care about the world. We want to see the world burn for Trump. Actually, no. As a matter of fact, it's not our perspective. It's not our opinion. It's not Trump's opinion. It's not the Republican side's opinion. It's not MAGA's opinion. That's theirs. They're the ones that are trashing this planet to try and trash us and our liberty.
This is my thoughts are right here. Memento Mori. Aren't the Tesla batteries produced outside the U.S.? Only 90% of a vehicle or of something needs to be produced in the United States for it to actually be marked as made in the USA. So as far as that goes, yeah, the one thing, the battery, can be produced outside of the U.S. and still be considered U.S. made. Just saying.
And again, ladies and gentlemen, for all this bullshit of like, oh, it's so much better. All this, green energy. It's renewable energy, renewables. It's renewables, because we can't just rely on this, whatever. Well, in Texas, there was a crap ton of oil places. There's oil wells that they dug. They left them alone for a while. I forget how many years or decades they left them alone, or however long that was. They came back after a while, and they refilled. And that's a fact, by the way. You can look that up. They refilled. So for all this horse shit of like, oh, it's so renewable. Oh, it's so wonderful. Oh, it's so what we're getting more oil from wells that we thought we tapped out, and it's coming back up. So I don't know what the hell they're talking about with renewable.
Princess actually said something about
solar panels aren't renewable when hail falls on them.
Seeing somebody stranded on the side of the road, and then she says, I couldn't imagine somebody getting stranded on the side of the road in a blizzard. Because I mean, when you think about it, and it was a Tesla that she's seen or whatever. So when you think about it, the electric vehicles really are not the smartest thing for anybody. It's really kind of dangerous, and it's not that you can't potentially run out of fuel while you're driving through the desert, but you're gonna have, you can see and have more of a guess on how long you're going to drive before you run out of fuel than you would potentially with a battery, because batteries, as they heat up and cool or whatever, can change there's some strange that happens with batteries and temperature change. I really think this is really stupid that we're continuing to think that this is the best thing for our future.
It isn't. It's obviously not, and they know it's not, and they just keep pushing it anyway because they don't give a damn. They're going to go after their power and the tyranny that they want to institute over you, and it doesn't matter how much of the world they have to destroy to do it. They will own it, even if the world ends up burning for 100 years. After that 100 years, they and their chosen descendants, they will be the ones to govern the earth, and you won't have anything. You just might be dead. Who knows? Allegedly. I mean, that's what, that's what they want. I mean, this is just all insane. So again, for all this like, oh, it's green, oh, it's renewable, oh, it's whatever. No, solar panels aren't renewable energy because as soon as the hail falls, they crack, you can't make them work. The wind blows them to hell over, they can't work. Tornado comes through, they don't work. Earthquake comes through, busts them up, they don't work. Lightning strikes one of these wind panels, some of the wind panels, wind turbines, wind blows too hard, some of these wind turbines go crazy. Some of the stuff with the ice overheating, it's not renewable. Once they break, they break. You have to come up with all the plastic and all the parts and all the ins and outs and all this crap and all the rest of this complex horse shit just to make it work. It's not renewable. It's not good. It's not good for the environment. Literally every single aspect of this is a lie. It is all a giant lie. And on top of all of that, these quote unquote renewables that aren't renewable and that aren't good for the environment, that destroy landscape on top of that in order for them to be built, by the way.
Right, says
not
global
only that,
warming,
but it's not efficient and it doesn't work. Yeah, global warming, right? Exactly. Right. Yeah, we'll have global warming and we'll overheat
to go along
the
with the global warming. TR says that wasn't
and melt down the
Florida
solar
and
panels.
New York were supposed to be underwater by now.
Oh, right, exactly.
Yeah.
Right, Al Gore said it's supposed to be underwater.
Dwight, check it.
Got to hell, Al Gore.
Ever. That's going to allow
ever
take additional steps toward meeting
period.
all of my climate goals.
Period.
We set out when we ran.
Period.
It includes ensuring that we create clean energy opportunities.
Take off my Joe
Biden frontline and fence line communities that have been smothered by the legacy of pollution, and fight environmental injustice. That's
all that lithium and solar panel parts.
Here's another win for the American people.
And wind turbine parts.
In addition to cutting the deficit
falling around everywhere,
$50 billion last year.
It's going to be wonderful.
And cutting it.
But hey, CO2 and water vapor.
This year,
you should be afraid of that.
Fiscal year, we're going to cut the deficit. That's what comes out from using gas and $300 billion with the Inflation Reduction Act over the next decade. We're cutting deficits to fight inflation by having the wealthy and big corporations finally begin to pay part of their fair share.
That doesn't fight
big corporations
inflation.
Will now pay.
Again, inflation is caused by the government inflating the dollar. It's caused by the Federal Reserve printing much more money than the value that's already current. And so it just inflates and hyperinflates. So, yeah, the rich can pay however much they want.
Sinbad on that one.
And by the way, the rich aren't paying anything.
Coal for charging stations too. So how is it that green? Last time I checked, coal was black. Potato Head's advisors must think we're stupid.
Well, they make clean coal.
They all think we're freaking.
I mean, we can burn coal now, and we have enough of like a filtration process that smoke goes through. We catch most of the debris that gets thrown out by the coal now. I mean, when we started using coal, it was really, really dirty. But now, over the course of ever so many decades, we've been able to catch a lot of that coal, and that's developed over the course of time of burning coal. So,
hello, Roma. Hello, Kath. I don't want to feel that I'm leaving you out.
A minimum of 15% tax instead of us 55 of them got away with paying $0 in federal income tax on $40 billion in profit.
Wait a minute.
And I'm
This is the
keeping my
comment
campaign
of the week
commitment.
right here. Go to Memento Mori. Being a Democrat. That's the comment of the week, I think. Throw that up. Do you see that? There it is. Being a Democrat is like being a flat earther at this point. I mean, it's true.
I mean,
100% true.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Comment of the week. Being a Democrat is like being
We
a
should start
flat
doing that.
earther.
The best
at this
comment that we can come up with through the week, we'll write it down, and we'll see if we can't do like a best comment of the week.
point. Oh, yeah.
Or, you know, something.
Got some smart cookies in here.
Could be fun. Take a quick screenshot, huh? Do a print screen. There you go.
No one, let me emphasize, no one earning less than $400,000 a year will pay a penny more in federal taxes.
Oh,
The Inflation Reduction Act does so many things that for
If
so
only
many
that
years,
money
so
wasn't
many of
so
us have fought to
goddamn
make
real.
happen. Let's be clear.
That
In
they
this
actually
historic
want
moment,
you to
Democrats
believe that.
sided with the American people, and every
I know they hired 87,000 IRS agents to go after like 5 rich people, you know, because that's how that works. You need 87. Oh no, you need all those people to go after the rest of us, is what that is. Oh, but we're all dumbasses. We don't know what the hell we're talking about. Just move on, Joe. Just move on. Just like with you, you're a dumbass. Nobody knows what's going on. Nobody can figure it out.
I took a print screen of the comment of the week. We'll see if you win. We'll do it Friday night.
I think he's already
single
won.
Republican in the Congress sided with the special interest in this vote.
He won. He won.
Every
He won
single-
like Harriet
bring
won
it,
today.
It'll bring it back up. It'll bring it back up though, so everybody realizes that if they actually make some really cool comments, we might actually, bring up their comment again on Friday. Yeah, let's rewind this a little bit. Let's see if we can't make it through this last 5-ish minutes.
Make happen.
Oh, I don't know.
Let's be clear. In this historic moment, Democrats sided with the American people, and every single
Okay,
Go
hold on.
straight to hell.
James, can you just replay that part, please? Not sure how far to go back, but we'll
Which
go back
part?
here.
more in federal taxes.
Whoa.
Folks, the Inflation Reduction Act does so many things that for so many years, so many of us have fought to make happen. Let's be clear.
So many.
In this historic moment, Democrats sided with the American people, and every single Republican in the Congress sided with the special interest in this vote. Every single one. In fact, the big drug companies spent nearly $100 million
After
to
he
defeat
says
this
such
bill.
a goddamn lie, he's
$100
like,
million. Remember,
he starts having a
every
seizure.
single Republican in Congress voted against this bill. Every single Republican in Congress voted against lowering prescription drug prices, against lowering healthcare costs, against the fair tax system. Every single Republican, every single one, voted against tackling the climate crisis, against lowering.
Swear to God, his drugs just aren't working correctly for him. He goes from being, just regular talking to, swear to God, and then he's gonna go and he's gonna whisper in a minute, because that's what he does.
Our energy costs, against creating good-paying jobs.
And of
My
course, it's
fellow
all horseshit,
Americans.
people, by the way. This is all horseshit, by the way. Just in case you didn't know. It's all horseshit.
He says it's not hyperbole. It's just bullshit.
That's the choice we face. We can protect the already powerful or show the courage to build a future where everybody has an even shot.
And even
That's the
shot at
America I
shit.
believe in.
And even shot at shit. I mean, folks, Jack Posobiec was saying this earlier today on his show, Human Events Daily, and he makes the point, and the point is, the analogy and the point that's made is very obvious, and it's very spot on. Equality and equity and this kind of thing that they keep talking about, there's no way to make everyone equal, because again, you have to think of it like, okay, you're constantly getting money. You're constantly, like, if you have an income, you're getting money. And so you're constantly growing in value over the course of time. You want to buy a house, you want to get a home, you want to get a car, you want to get whatever. Even though you might not necessarily own it, you're trying to gain more for yourself, right? Over the course of time. And so you're growing, right? And so everybody is trying to grow. And so the only way that you can make everybody equal is to cut us all down to the same level. You're not bringing anybody up. There's no way to do that. There's no way to do that. It's the lawnmower method, is what he said. It's like this genius, right? It's just, you're just cutting everybody down to the ground. And that's all you're doing. But see, they're not only cutting us down to the ground, they're scalping the ground with the lawnmower. If you know what that means. They're scalping the whole damn ground. Stripping it bare. You're done. That's what they're doing. That's literally what they're doing.
That's what I believe in. And today,
zombie tater brains.
Today, we've come a step closer to making that America real. Today, too often, we confuse noise with substance. Too often, we confuse setbacks with defeat. Too often,
6 feet.
We hand the biggest microphones to the critics and the cynics
social distancing,
who delight in declaring failure, while those committed to making real progress do the hard work of governing. Making progress in this country as big and complicated as ours clearly is not easy. It's never been easy. But with unwavering conviction, commitment, and patience, progress does come. Your dad was right. And when it does, like today, people's lives are made better.
Who's dad?
The future becomes brighter.
Who's dad? Who the hell's dad? Who are you pointing at?
He's pointing at yours. He said it's your
mine?
dad. Yes, yours.
Oh.
Mine, yours.
Oh, well.
Okay, just as long as everybody realizes it's not your own.
Okay, just
it's
so we're
the
clear.
other guys.
Right, of course.
And a nation can be transformed.
Pardon me.
From the American Rescue Plan that helped create nearly 10 million new jobs to once-in-a-generation infrastructure law that will rebuild America's roads, bridges, ports, deliver clean water, high-speed internet to every American, to the first meaningful gun safety law in 30 years. And if I have anything to do with it, we're still going to have an assault weepons ban, but that's another story.
Gun safety law.
And to get significant veterans health care law in decades for the first time.
Wow, it's like this is an omnibus.
To a groundbreaking chips and science law that's going to ensure that technologies and jobs of the future are made here in America. In America.
Oh, okay. Could you say that a little louder, Joe? I didn't quite hear you.
And all this progress is part of our vision and plan and determined effort to get the job done for the American people.
Okay, Joe. Okay.
So they can look their child in the eye and say, honey, it's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to make it sure that the democracy delivers.
Everything's going to make it sure that democracy.
Democracy.
And now, I know there are those here today who hold a dark and despairing view of this country. I'm not one of them. I believe in the promise of America. I believe in the future of this country. I believe in the very soul of this nation. And most of all, I believe in you, the American
You believe in the
people.
soul of the new world order.
I believe in my
and that's
core.
all you believe in.
There isn't a single thing this country cannot do when we put our mind to it. We just have to remember who we are.
And the dominance of China.
We are
of
the
course.
United States of America.
He actually said
There's
united,
nothing
right?
Nothing beyond our capacity.
I think so.
That's why so many foreign companies decide to invest or make chips in America. Billions of dollars. We're the best. We have to believe in ourselves again. And now I'm going to take
Yes,
action
because all the
that,
chips are made
I've
in the
been
United
looking
States.
forward
They're
to
not all
doing
made
for
in Taiwan,
18
right?
months.
Right?
Going to sign the Inflation Reduction Act.
Say that again.
Oh boy. Now here we go. Now when they go, does it show when he signs it?
Yeah. He's got another minute ish. He's gonna walk over. He's gonna sign it. Hurry up! Get around him. Gather around all you really important people that made this happen.
Just make sure we get the right one.
And there's Joe Manchin. There he is. Oh, I'm such a great moderate. Oh, I'm so wonderful. Oh, I'm so lovely. Oh, vote for me. Oh, I'm so great. Oh, go to hell. How about that? Because you're sending us all into a hellish dystopia. So how about you screw off, you piece of shit?
It's now law.
And watch what he does with the pen. What the hell? They cut it off. That's the best part. You bastards.
Forbes cut it off.
The American Destruct
It can't be that hard to find him handing that pen off.
I know. I saw it on Twitter earlier.
Right.
I just thought that had it in it. Let me see. I think I retweeted that. Ah, here we go.
Dwight Zombie, if you're still with us, check that Discord DM, bro.
Oh,
Are you that drunk? He asked a couple
Let's
times.
hope not.
Like several times if he could actually join. And, he doesn't get the chance to join us on weekends because of the shifts that he works. And that's why I randomly let him in on Tuesdays or Wednesdays when he isn't working.
This is Paul Joseph Watson's tweet here. This is Paul Joseph Watson. He says, I'm sorry, but this is getting worse by the day. Look at his face. Oh, I should put it in a British accent. He's sorry, but it's getting worse by the day. Look at his face. So here we go. That was kind of bad, but here we go.
Yeah, that was kind of horrible.
That was kind of bad. That was kind of bad. I was very sloppy. I could do a little better if I wanted to. Here we go with Joe, right? Oh, wait. Do I have this on full screen to you? Okay, it's sharing.
Yep, you're up.
Check that everything. Okay. So watch his face and then watch what he does with the pen. Like, what the hell? What the hell?
Well, everybody gets a pen. Everybody that's standing that had something to do with signing this particular bill gets a pen from him. Like, here you go. Here's your pen.
But watch his face. Look at his face. Yeah. You know what? And then Joe Manchin's like,
it
oh,
was you. That's who
look
did
at
it.
You. Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, look, it's a pen. Yeah, nice.
Turn that camera off before you come in. Dwight, turn that camera off before you come in. Dwight.
Yeah, Mike in the chat. Yeah, it is. It's a carnival. It's just a giant carnival fest, and they're all just laughing at Joe Biden the whole damn time.
Stop, Dwight.
Yo, what up, man? Hey, what's up with my camera, man?
Down below the screen it says mute and it says start cam or stop cam. You can stop the camera. Just do the little dot for me or whatever. We don't do cameras during the weeks.
Stop cam. All right,
there you go.
Cool.
There. Now they can see when you're actually talking.
Right on, man. Right on.
Nah.
I just wanted to jump into the talk shit a little bit every once in a while.
He's wanted to talk shit. He's like,
Shirts.
My opinion.
Shirts is very fucking enthusiastic.
Oh yeah, he needs to be. That's his job.
He's like, fuck it. He's on it. But,
okay, there was a couple questions here real quick. It has my name tagged in, and that's how I know. YouTube is pushing people of, but Koolfrogg doesn't come off as a grifter. He's humble. Nick needs to bring down his ego a bit to remember how lowly people. Yeah, thank you. I really don't sit there and say, "Oh, you need to help me right now." Without your help, I just came back from vacation, and I feel I need to actually make sure that you give me your money. Not really like that, though. If you actually went to buymeacoffee.com/coolfrog, I'd gladly take any donation. Just
Hey,
saying.
my old lady still owes you a coffee, man. She still owes you. She never. Hey, you never bought Koolfrogg coffee.
I actually was thinking about that the other day.
she said she was thinking about it the other day. Yeah, she has coffee.
Well, it's
I'm
fine.
gonna buy you 10
Whenever
coffees.
when she decides to do so, it's fine. I understand. It's not something that you always think of and keep in your mind. Tia also said, "Who doesn't have access to high-speed internet? I've been deep in the mountains in West Virginia and had cell service and high-speed internet." I mean, I don't know. Dwight doesn't have high-speed internet.
Dude, I'm out in the boonies, dude. I got like 15 megabits a second or some shit like that. So I mean, I'm just barely fucking hanging on.
Right. So there are people that don't have the high-speed internet that they're actually trying to, call infrastructure that they want to actually make sure everybody has.
Infrastructure.
Eventually, Dwight won't have so many issues connecting.
Well, eventually, we might all have issues connecting.
I mean, as far as that goes, they might just tell us that we can't connect because they don't want us to, because we have our own thoughts. Opinions.
There's people that want to be the bosses of all of us, and eventually they're going to get their way. Eventually.
Sinbad says, "I'm ordering coffee for Koolfrogg. Heck, I can afford it now with this Inflation Reduction Act."
Oh, right. Exactly. You can thank
Dude,
Joe Biden.
Hey, I'd be totally cool with the Inflation Act if it would help me get a car for cheaper, because I want to buy a car, but it doesn't help on that. It only helps if you want to put up solar panels and shit.
Well, are you Nancy Pelosi's son? Are you Joe Biden's son? Are you John Kerry's son?
Hey, bro,
if you're not, well, then you can just screw off. No cars for you.
Yeah, I wish it was, man. I wish it was. Shit.
Oh hell, I wouldn't. God.
No, I don't wish. I don't wish it was. I take that back.
he's looking at a picture of a Hunter Biden without any teeth. He's like, oh God, yeah, maybe.
So
yeah,
I'm gonna bring this article back up. I was having an issue.
Everything in the Inflation Act has to do with like electric cars and fucking solar panels and all this fucking bullshit. And it's okay. I haven't been watching the stream the whole time, but doesn't it seem like it's just another reason to print a shitload of more money, like to keep the middle class at the lower class and the lower class at the lower class, and like what's going on really with this whole the whole trying to help people out fucking thing, like what's really going on?
Oh yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's broadening the gap between rich and poor. And that's exactly what it's doing. Because again, as I said, they're not they're claiming, oh, we're gonna like give you a tax credit, and we're like reforming the tax system. Oh my God. Like, yeah, no, you're not gonna tax the 1% and then go after them with 87,000 IRS agents. You're gonna go after all of us. That's what the army's for, is to go after us. That's what the army of IRS agents is. That's to go after us, people. Let's just be smart here. Let's just be very clear.
I'd be totally cool with it if it was actually to help people. And I understand where the Democrats are coming from, where they're trying to say like, oh, we need to be more like nature friendly and whatever. But it's not what they're saying. It's bullshit. They're lying. They're just printing more money to separate the fucking upper class from the lower class more and more. That's all they're doing, and they're using false ideas to push it. You know, like they're saying like, oh, we're helping the environment. It's going to help the environment. Yeah, that's what we're doing. No bullshit. You motherfuckers are separating the rich from the poor as much as you can, because you're up there, we're down here, and you want us to be your slaves, and that's what they want.
Real quick, thank you, Romo. Thanks for the donation. So, let's actually check out this article here real quick, because it actually details the injecting of $473 billion in the new spending in the climate and healthcare amid concerns that it would do little to reduce inflation. Biden thanked Joe Manchin, the moderate Democratic senator who killed the initial Build Back Better package and finally signed onto the law legislation after months of negotiations, including the guarantee of gas pipeline in his home state of West Virginia. Republicans have criticized the claim it would lead to taxes on the middle-class Americans and will do little to help reduce soaring costs. Joe, I never had a doubt. He told the Democrat at the signing ceremony, where Biden hailed the measure as a tool to take the special interests. Biden, who wore a mask when he first entered the room after First Lady Jill had tested positive for the coup today, called it a historic moment and bashed Republicans voting in unison against it. After a while, people doubted whether any of it would happen. He told Chuck Schumer, who helped forge the final deal with Manchin. Schumer himself called it the most important thing Congress has done in a long time. He also held one of the most productive stretches in Senate history.
Hey,
and
Frog,
we wouldn't be here without you. What's up, man?
Can we get back to him catching COVID twice in
You can't say that
weeks?
word.
Like
we're not contesting that any of this word. We're not doctors. We're not telling anybody to do what make sure that you see that you're going to do what's best for you. Yeah, watch what you're saying. But yeah,
I'm sorry, dude.
He come down with that cough twice within a few, or like every day they tested him, whatever, to see how well he was doing. And it took him like a good week or two to actually finally come with a clear whatever, and it was just a bunch of bullshit.
I just you after you do your thing here.
Okay. I didn't catch any of that, but we're gonna continue. That's why they want to forge and make sure that we get high-speed internet to everybody, so somebody like Dwight can actually have his thoughts heard without being eaten by robots. After he signed it, Biden presented a pen. He used the ink, the Inflation Reduction Act, a name Manchin said he coined. Manchin coined the Inflation Reduction Act? Oh, that's great. In the Western Virginia for 18 months. It was a nice gesture, Manchin told reporters afterwards. Yeah, of course it was. It was a nice gesture of him to actually do so.
Yeah.
Manchin praised Biden and bashed Republicans for not voting for the package. He puts confidence in the market. He also credited the president's decision to stand back after the initial deal blew up, infuriating Manchin's fellow Democrats. As a former senator, Biden knows that sometimes you got to just let us do what we got to do. Manchin also bristled when pressed on estimates. The bill would not bring down inflation in a near term. Well, immediately it's not. We've never said anything would happen immediately. Like today, turn the switch on. Okay. In this historic moment, Democrats sided with American people, and every single Republican in Congress sided with this interests. Every single one. And that's what, a 50-50 in the House does, is it doesn't matter how many are there and how many aren't. They're just going to ramshackle this shit, and they're going to do whatever they can. Every single Republican in Congress voted against lowering prescription drug prices because that's exactly what they want you to think this is just a thing on lower prescription drug prices, against lowering healthcare costs, against fair tax system. Every single Republican, every single one, voted against tackling the climate crisis because it's a freaking lie. A bunch of bullshit. Real quick, there's a couple people with some questions, I guess. Koolfrogg, you're fine. This YouTube that go to my Cash App, my Venmo, also a GoFundMe. Here, a list of stuff you can buy and an Amazon wish list from my studio, and do this every stream. They can bite me. I'll talk to you closer about that. What you're actually looking to do. Koolfrogg, everyone knows that Biden is going to catch the coup for a third time. Now Jill has it. Yeah, exactly. We're just waiting because Jill has it. Is he actually staying away from her? Are they actually not going into the same rooms together because they want to protect him from actually getting it again?
Hey,
probably not.
Frog, can I ask you a question, Frog?
What's up?
No.
Why? I wasn't talking to you, Shirts. Why do you think that they put him away for 2 weeks? Why do you think they gave him the cough for 2 weeks? Like, what was going on right there? There was some shit going on with like not North Korea, but or was it North Korea? I don't know what was going on.
Nancy traveling to Taiwan?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. Yeah. So is that why they gave him the cough for a couple weeks? Like what was going on with that? Like I don't know, like what's your thoughts on that?
It's a legitimate thing, and everybody will get it at some point in time, regardless to the status of jabs, according to what they tell you.
Right, yeah, double jabbed and double cleaned, and I don't know what I'm allowed to say or not allowed to say, but double jabbed, double vaccine, and he's doing.
The second word is the one that you're not supposed to talk about. That's why we use
Joe,
the
what's
words
on your
that we
head?
use.
It's my banana booster. A banana booster? Yeah, it's for banana pox. Did you say banana pox? Listen here.
What's up,
you
Cash?
can't make a bird swim if a fish don't want to think. It's geometry. Joe, what are you talking about? You take an apple and put it next to a pencil, you've created something like mayonnaise on a cracker. Joe, you have to blink. Gas prices are just as smart and just as talented as Afghanistan. What about inflation? Look, here's the deal. End of quote. Repeat the line. Joe, blink. Look, I once wrestled a giraffe right to the ground with my bare hands. No, you didn't, Joe. I climbed Mount Everest and landed on the moon. Joe, what's 2 plus 2? Here, 2 plus 2, add the 4, carry the 6, decimal point. 2 plus 2 is 22. What's the capital of Delaware? Cincinnati, WKRP. Joe, who's the president of the United States? that guy on TV. He plays a man. He was a guy in that movie with a girl.
Joe, if you had 3 apples, how many apples would you have?
Let's see here. If I had 4 apples,
I said 3 apples, Joe.
All right, sorry. If I had 6 apples,
Joe, I said 3 apples.
Okay, good. You said you had 3 apples. Whoop-de-doo. Anyways,
Man, he speaks way better.
It says Joe blank. All right, done. All right, say goodnight to everyone, then walk off stage. To properly walk off stage, put one foot in front of the other while balancing. Repeat this until you're off stage. End quote.
It's so good. Oh my God.
Oh, that's some good stuff. So, real quick here. So here's what the bill actually entails. So then if you actually look here real quick, it says the bill includes $430 billion in spending, raises $737 billion over the decade in revenue, and is projected to shave about $300 billion off the deficit. It raises $265 billion by allowing the government to negotiate with drug companies for lower Medicare prescription drug costs. Its climate provision, totaling $369 billion, are projected to cut carbon emissions by 40 cents from earlier levels. And it includes extensions to the Affordable Care Act subsidies, totaling $64 billion. The new excess tax on stock buybacks came at the instance of Senator Sinema after she nixed a provision to close the carried interest loophole. Senator Joe Manchin had negotiated that provision with Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer when the two reached a deal that suddenly revived the stalled legislation.
It's gonna.
Yay for Manchin, right? Everybody loves him.
You made me Mexican.
I don't know if he's talking to us or if he's not. I have no clue.
Oh no, I was talking to my old lady. No, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. No, you're fine. Americans making less than $400,000 per year could end up paying about $20 billion in new tax revenues brought in by Democrats' Inflation Reduction Act. 1% analysis of the bill suggests. The nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office found on August 12th that an amendment from Republican Senator Mike Crapo would have seen the legislation bring $20 billion less. And then in its current format, his measure would have guaranteed the Americans making less than $400,000 would not be targeted by the $80 billion IRS expansion, including in this bill. So, I mean, again, Build Back Better Act broke up into billions of pieces and sent out, and now these things that, you know, that Joe Manchin didn't want to actually sign in the first place is slowly signing every piece in as we think that he's not doing anything. And that's exactly what
Everybody's
he's doing.
Like, oh, he's a blue dog Democrat. Oh, he loves you. Oh, no, he's just working with them to pass their bullshit along piece by piece, bit by bit. That's all it is. It's just a show. It's a sham. And everybody that lives in that state of West Virginia needs to wake the hell up. The Democrats don't give a shit about you. Period. Full stop. Anywho's.
I was just kind of taking a glance real quick to see. So, though she already has a check mark, there's still kind of apparently seen. It shows that Harriet Hagman is above Liz Cheney from 66% to 29%, with 95% of the votes are in.
It's
She
beautiful.
whooped her butt. Let's see here. Alaska Senate primary is showing Lisa Murkowski at 42.6 and Kelly Sabatsky at 41.4. That's about
Again, Kelly's the Trump back.
About
Estimated
1,200 people difference. It looks like Patricia Scherzbo, a Democrat, is actually picking up a 6.24, about 6,000 votes. If those 6,000 people weren't so to, we would have a final count, but they're still counting. It looks like they're estimated at 52%. If I could actually, I would show it. It's not showing me a map for them. Sure, can you do a search on something else to see if you can come up with a map for us? Is that something that you could possibly do? So this is Alaska governor top 4 primary. It looks like Mike Donlevy is sitting at 42.35, with Les Gar sitting at 21, and Bill Kerr also sitting at 21%. So almost looks like Donlevy would take the governor primary. I really don't like how they're splitting up Lisa Murkowski and Kelly Sabatska's votes the way they are. It really doesn't. I mean, it looks horrible at the moment. But the Alaska House top 4 primary at large primary, Sarah Palin sitting at 32.15%. Looks like Nicholas Begich is sitting at 27.9%. And the Democrat Mary Poltola is sitting at 34.53%, with about 2,700 vote difference between her and Sarah Palin. And if the ones that voted for Nicholas Begich actually just voted for Sarah Palin, you wouldn't be having this issue right now. They would have been done counting. They would have said, "Oh, that one's in," because it's the first one to 50%. But nope, not anymore, because that's what they like to play their games. I don't know why it's not showing me a map. I want to see a map, damn it.
Well, I got a map, but it's not showing anything showing up for the counties. Everything's gray, but yet it says 52% is in. And every other candidate
could totally be fine the way it is, because if they only have 52%, that means like some of the counties or all the counties had enough to actually go one way or the other. It would just still show gray. So like
sadly, this is CNN. But,
6 different areas that are gray still.
Oh, there's several. These are all the counties in Alaska here. Of course, some of them are not as populated as others, but
right.
You see there, everything is for these top 2, and then there's like 6,000 votes for that one and that one. So, and I know it's only in at 50%, but it really shouldn't take that long. If the majority of people, it shouldn't take till September, even with their horseshit. That's my opinion, but
this is terrible.
That's how they run it there. So neck and neck up here. And Tishibaka, I don't know how to pronounce that exactly, but Kelly Tishibaka. Kelly Tshibaka. Okay, yeah.
Shabaka. The T's silent.
Oh, the T's silent? Oh, okay. So Kelly Tshibaka.
When are the midterms happening?
She's the MAGA.
November. This is just prime. This is primaries to see who's actually going to take certain seats or whatever, or take their name to the ballot box in November.
If the Republicans do not win the midterms, then it's a conspiracy, man. like how could the Republicans not win? How could they not win?
Because you came in,
Democrats
you came in when you did. There was another primary that had occurred out of Wyoming, and Harriet Hagman actually did take the primary vote over the top of Liz Cheney. Liz Cheney is no longer going to be a thing. If you know who Liz Cheney is, Liz Cheney's the head member of the J6 committee. So she got primaried. She's done.
AKA a piece of shit.
She's done. She won't be on the. So it would be Harriet Hagman versus some Democrat come November.
Yeah, well, I don't understand how any Democrat could win shit right now. Like that, they're pushing their act of we're gonna help out everybody, and they're doing the same stupid shit that they always do. But
Good night, JMK. Have a good sleep.
Oh,
But-
and it looks like, let me pull up.
how
sorry.
could they really win? Like, could they really win? Is there that many people that are that easily like convinced that the Reduction Act is actually going to reduce inflation? Is there that many people that believe that?
Is this thing pulled up here? Okay, there we go.
Yeah, you're up.
Let me see.
Everybody, as you slowly die out, go to bed, go to sleep. Don't forget to hit that like button for me. Share this out. Let everybody know that we did do something tonight. And if you haven't already, hit that subscription button for me.
So, the whole state is the congressional district there in Alaska. So they only have one electoral college vote. And it is, and again, Wyoming, it's the same way. They only have one congressional district. So they only have one, electoral college vote. And that Harriet, this is for Sarah Palin, who's running for the congressional seat. And she is overtaking the other Republican there. She's the Trump-backed, obviously. And this is in at 61%, they say, for this.
So it's changed
and of course,
over the
there's
last
the whole
few minutes
litany of horse shit
since I read off everything.
Governor, there's that in at 60% Republican. I'm assuming he's a good guy, hoping he's a good guy. And then, of
Top
course, here's
4 primary
Wyoming.
guy, Mike Dunleavy.
Who? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he Trump back?
I believe
do you
he
know?
is the Trump back, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say that he was at that. I usually try watching the stuff that comes out of Trump rallies, whatever. I'm pretty sure Mike Dunleavy was actually there.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So that's where we're at. Don't know everything official until after a while, but I'm hoping that we can get a pretty good understanding of where things are at if the votes don't get split up too much, which again, it's like as it is, right? Like you have to vote for everybody across the board as like first, second, third, fourth, in all these Alaskan races, which is just a load of horse shit. But I hope to God it doesn't take till September to go through all of that. I hope there's enough votes in these category, in the other category that would, obviously change it to to the side that actually won.
Can I be the devil's advocate and say that there's the votes don't matter because they're gonna get what they want regardless? And do you guys have an argument against that? I mean,
yeah, because we're winning everywhere across the board. All the MAGA people are winning everywhere.
I mean,
all the Rhino people, all the establishment people, they're all going.
It's so crazy though, Shirts, that it takes so many more people to win because they cheat. So you have to like instead of
Allegedly.
and instead of allegedly
Minecraft.
in quotations allegedly in my opinion, but you have to get like you have to get 2/3 of the vote to win, opposed to just regular winning. You know, like they because they in quotes, in my opinion, might cheat and things, and I don't know how to say it right. I don't want to. I don't want to fuck up your channel, Koolfrogg. I'm sorry, but you know, like it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Like you gotta have so much, like that. You gotta have so much, like support to back up to win. Like
I'm gonna
you gotta
laugh
have
at you
so
real
much
quick. I
support
got a
to
couple
win.
of them I got a couple in my chat there. One's like too much background noise. I had to take out my AirPods. Next one says background noise sounds like Chewbacca talking underwater.
Oh.
Is my audio bad?
It must really sound worse to the audience than it does to us. Because I mean, I hear a little bit of background noise, but it's not like it's tremendous. I turned you down a little bit just to try.
I've got it on a laptop and then a TV, and that it might it might be causing some reverb between the TV and the air conditioning.
Yeah, and yeah, you're fine. It is what it is. I'm just laughing because you sound like Chewbacca underwater.
I was doing that.
They're saying it's the TV in the background. They can hear the TV.
Oh, it's not the TV. It's my air conditioner. I'm straight. Oh, look, my old lady turned. Oh, look, my old lady is so fucking sweet. She went and turned off the air conditioner because she's.
Don't get all too hot and sweaty now. But keep comfortable.
She cares more about my conversation than she does her own comfort. What a sweet little darling she is.
Brian, I think we went over that yesterday, or was it the day before?
Yeah, exactly.
I think we were.
Yeah, we
did.
did.
We did that.
I
don't think he was serious.
I'm not positive. I mean, I thought he was here, but he may have missed it.
Yeah, maybe he had to bail out. Excuse me.
I got all these articles that I had for stuff to talk about before we were going to talk about the primaries, thinking that the primaries were going to still go on, but close them out.
and then Liz Cheney lost in 2 seconds.
Hey!
That was the fastest I'd ever seen an election.
Literally the fastest and biggest blowout ever.
Can we jump down a conspiracy hole for a minute? Like the
maybe.
The whole Biden.
The allegedly hole.
As long as you keep the words that
yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll keep the words
you
away.
Can't speak of certain disinformation stuff or whatever. There's just certain things that you can't hit on that I know you would just love to.
I didn't know that you couldn't say that.
There's so much that you can't say because YouTube just hates free speech.
I know, fucking assholes. Anyways, but
Sinbad says I got metered in voice chat last week because the AC was doing the same thing. Yeah, it's very interesting. I never thought that an air conditioner would make that much noise to actually bring it to the point of like sounding like there's a hammer pounding or there's water flowing. or
Oh,
this, it's amazing what kind of noise that air conditioners actually produce. I mean, I use voice mod, and my voice. I turn on the clean, it actually throws another
I'm white trash.
background detection thing, and it actually squeezes
my air conditioner is in my wall. Like it's sticking out of the wall
permanently there.
And
yeah,
it's got like vents and shit. Yeah, like I'm white trashy like fuck. Like it's straight up white trash. Fucking
straight up poverty level stuff. No, I got you.
yeah.
Was it?
Yeah. Hey, but
I'm
hey,
teasing.
this is my question. Why did he get the cough, and then he got the cough again?
He didn't get the cough. He had it once, and then it continued. They just kept on testing him every day until they finally found a day where he didn't have. That way, he could actually be in.
Hey, Frog, what was going on though? Why did they want him to shut the fuck up and not fucking say anything?
Oh, he still did things. He didn't not just, he'd come out. He actually did a couple round tables and a couple other things from the privacy of his own place or whatever, and did it over camp. So it's not that he shut up. It wasn't that they actually stopped him from actually doing anything. He was still doing things.
Yeah. I saw the video where he was like, "I've been double vaccinated and I had two booster shots. I had two booster shots and
by the way, we're not doctors, we're not lawyers, we're not trying to tell you what to do, how to do it, when to do it. Make sure you see your doctor and do what's best for you."
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm not.
You can't say the word. I've told you this a million times.
Oh fuck, dude. I'm sorry, man. Shit. All right.
He's like, but I want to take your show down.
No, I don't, man. I don't. I'm all about your show. I'm all about your show, dude. I want everything positive for you, but shit. But I'm just wondering, like,
yeah,
there's
Brian,
probably,
yeah, exactly. That's what we covered yesterday. Yeah, we covered that.
There's probably something serious going on that was happening when they
He's like, I'm sorry, guys, it's not a problem.
Not that he's not silenced all the time anyways. Not like he answers questions.
Not like there's not somebody else pulling the strings for him. Yeah, no, we get that. We totally understand.
Yeah, but I mean, like, maybe there was something really serious that might have happened. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. There it was just like Trudeau when they said he caught the cough. See, I caught myself and I said it right. And when he had a cough, and that was just right around the point when it would be convenient for him to be saying something, but he shut the fuck up. And then like what was happening what was happening with our government behind the scenes when
I think there was actually anything other than what was already going on. I really don't. I think it was that he legitimately actually came down with it, and he was tested until he was actually come up to the point where he was able to actually sit for the next so long to actually, quote unquote, quarantine for such a deal. So it wasn't that there's something else that was really going on. I don't think so. I think it was just that he actually, if you actually look even today on the video that we played earlier of him before he signed that bill, he actually gets up to that podium, and the first thing he does is he actually coughs into his hand that he later on, after signing the bill, goes and shakes dude's hand with. So I mean, you could almost imagine within the next couple days that you may hear of Manchin actually coming down with the quote unquote Koof. Just saying. It's amazing how stupid they are.
All right. Well, does Taiwan have anything to do with it? Do you think?
No, I really don't. I don't think that had anything to do with it. I think it was means to actually start up another side of what is now considered possibly World War III. You don't call it World War III until after it's over. So
yeah, you can say World War.
it's only named after it's over. It doesn't get named beforehand because nobody's going to believe that's what's exactly happening. Nobody's going to write it that this is this is a 3. This is what's happening. It's really something to actually think about when it actually gets down to it.
Yeah.
I did have technology, and it was the use of nuclear weapons by the military, including invasion of Ukraine, would lead to catastrophic disruptions of food supplies, according to Rutgers University-led study. I don't know if I actually want to read through the article. Thank you, America-Shirts.
This is what I was trying to pull this up, but I couldn't find it because YouTube took everything down. Because that's YouTube, they take it all off. This is what I was trying to find earlier when everybody was, complaining about background noise, because of his background and everything that was going on,
What's going on? Am I losing this? Someone's pressing buttons and turning my sound on. Someone in that control room is out of control. Jesus Christ.
20 seconds.
Crazy fucking sound coming in my ears. There's insanity in the control room tonight.
This is insanity.
Any fucking thing can come into my ear at any moment. That's what I know. Anybody can get into my fucking ear at any time. It fucking sucks to be out here with this out of control shit. You have insanity in my earpiece. Don't leave it. It's not my earpiece. It's somebody talking on our lines.
China.
It gets better.
Fucking out of control shit.
Dang. Sorry, headphone users.
Stop the hammering. Stop the hammering out there. Who's got a hammer? Where's the hammer? Is it on the... Go up on the other floor. Somebody go up there and stop the hammering.
Oh, my Lord. That's so loud. And
I'll go down to the goddamn floor myself and stop it. Keep the goddamn commercial break going. Empty out the goddamn control room and find out where this is going
so
on.
Loud.
It's either there or out there somewhere. Call fucking Phil Griffin. I don't care who the fuck you have to call. Stop the hammering. Jesus Christ. Crazy fucking sound coming from my ears.
Sorry, everybody. That was a little insane and very, very loud. Holy man. Let's see if we can't rain it down just a little bit and we'll give you some sounds of my voice. Oh.
Was that Shirts or was that you?
That was the clip that he was playing.
Stop the hammering. Does no one remember that clip that came out from him? That guy from MSNBC? Remember, it was like the biggest thing I remember. Was like, stop the effing hammering. He's like losing it.
I don't remember. Oh God,
it's so fun.
Okay, this way. That's the problem. It seems as though Brian's got quite the story that he's rattling off through chat. So it started off. Did you see Trump's statement in the DOJ? We said that we covered it yesterday. So he says, so it was covered about 50 FBI agents coming forward, and Trump said that the DOJ that he was willing to help address the nation to bring down the temperature of the people. I might have temporarily fell asleep. I was tired. Sorry, guys. Again, not an issue. No problem. I get it. Everybody needs to sleep sometimes. Hold on. He continues his AmericaShirts. Do you think that the governors of the states will reject IRS? And what's that going to look like if we can get an opinion from you guys on that?
I think several of them already have spoken out against this.
The one from Missouri did.
Yeah, we read off that letter.
Right, we read that letter that came from him. So then, hold on, man. So then the last one was, it's very alarming to me, and the level of incompetence of the FBI has considering the counterpoint of the British intelligence. Why are we running into the arms of the UK like this way? It seems a problem.
Who's running?
Why are we running into the arms of the UK this way?
UK, I don't understand that. In what way are we running to the UK?
Yeah, I'm confused as well. I really don't know how to actually answer that particular question. How about you, AmericaShirts? You got anything? No.
Well, I mean, I know that we work with the British, and I know that, like, I don't know of the British necessarily the equivalent of the British FBI. I know there's like MI5 and MI6 and things, but and I know that they did work hand in glove with the UK to try to put together a bunch of bullcrap on Trump before he was running, and that's the whole Spygate thing, and that's the whole Operation Crossfire Hurricane, which I believe that Trump has copies of, and that's why they went crazy at Mar-a-Lago.
Okay.
I mean, outsourcing intelligence and outsourcing things to foreign countries is one of the ways that they get around trying to gather the intelligence. They go to the one on like the Five Eyes, and then they bring it back in and they say, oh, look, they gave it to us when they were running the whole thing to start with.
Meme copium. It's so fun. It's like, how are you? Is greater than doing fine, is greater than you okay, is greater than UK.
Huh?
How are you? Greater than doing fine, greater than you okay, is UK. You know, like if you know, oh my God, they don't get it. Sorry, meme. I got you, brother. I got you, brother. I laughed just because I thought it was very funny. Apparently, nobody else did. Brian Manuel says the FBI has a counterpart with the UK going against the China threat, but it's the UK that wants these measures instituted. Chuck Schumer is using their legislation to take down the Constitution.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Debbie Minecraft meme. I got it. It took a minute. It took a minute for some. I got it right away. I thought it was great. Good stuff. Good stuff. AmericaShirts is still reading over that, trying to get it.
No, I don't really get it, but yeah, I agree with the statement. They want to burn down the Constitution. 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. It really does sound like that's what they're trying to do. Is they're trying to burn down the Constitution.
Hey, if you own a private platform like YouTube owns a private platform, they get the ability to pick and choose what they want to be shown and what they want to be said, and that's just because they own the business. They and I 100% agree with that. But what's shitty about it is that all these businesses have so much control and so much power over what is being fed to not just to us, not just to us old fucks, but these kids, these children are being fed these this bullshit from YouTube that YouTube and TikTok and all the other shit and all the other stupid apps on their fucking phones. And
Huh?
Well, I agree with the statement that all the kids shouldn't have cell phones. They shouldn't have electronic devices until they're in their teens.
I mean, back in my day, there wasn't such thing as an electronic. There weren't phones quite yet when we were. I mean, there was a couple people that had phones in high school, but there were these big, huge phones. Like you remember watching the Bell. You see, Zach Morris had that huge, chunky phone. That was pretty much where it was. There wasn't any level of cell phone until
I had my
ready to graduate. So I mean, as far as that goes,
I had my Nokia phone while I was driving standard, and I was typing like 3 times to get the letter M, or whatever.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I was driving standard and texting on my Nokia fucking phone, and it was
Debbie,
fucking.
my parents still have a rotary phone. It only takes incoming calls because they did away with the pulse and it's now off the tone. So the pulse that's no longer available, you can't call out on them anymore. But when the phone rings, you can actually pick it up and answer it. It's fun.
Brian, I agree with your chat. I mean, it's one of the prime examples of the Anglo-American establishment right there, and the elite in the UK most certainly have a role to play. 100%.
Let's get into that shit. We need a talking point.
What?
Anglo-Americans. No, let's talk about that. What are we?
It's a book by Anthony C. Sutton as well as the Anglo-American establishment.
Is that what we're living in?
Well, one could say yes.
See, all right, there we go. Now we got a talking point.
Just to keep everybody updated, Lisa Murkowski is still ahead of Kelly Shabatsky with the 49% of projected. It's still going. It's too close. It's seriously that's only 1,000 vote difference. Not even.
Man.
It's less than 1,000 vote difference between the two.
Oh fuck.
That's what we're here to do. We're here to actually. That was the original plan, was to actually watch the Alaska state stuff, because Lisa Murkowski needs to go away. We don't want Lisa Murkowski. She's one of them rhinos.
Dude, the Republicans are gonna fucking take everything. They've got.
Well, but the thing is those Republicans like Liz Cheney and Lisa Murkowski need to go away. There's some Republicans that just aren't right for this game. So then here you go.
Knows that. And yeah, I mean, Liz is gone. Bye, Liz. 2 seconds, she was gone.
Well,
and then she called herself Abraham Lincoln, and that she's the president, and she's endowed with all the power of whatever the hell. I don't know. I mean, she's just insane. She'll probably go off tomorrow and shoot somebody with a shotgun, allegedly in Minecraft.
Yeah. Take your
like Daddy, allegedly in Minecraft.
Okay. Shit.
She'll just be angry. She'll just like whip that thing out, and she'll just like take off a staffer's head, allegedly, in Minecraft.
It looks like Dunleavy's got his spot. I mean, for how close that is, you'd almost think that they'd just give him a check mark.
Yep, but that's that stupid system.
They're in Alaska, and they got that stupid system going on. So the thing is if he doesn't hit 50%, he's at the 42, and they decide to actually, go off of the way they're doing things, and Gara is the one that drops, and the votes get split, whatever, depending on what where their next vote went. It could simply be, because obviously you can see Pierce and Kirka right underneath that with 7.19 and 4.2%. When the lowest one drops, and they split the 4,000 votes to the second, and then they drop the Pierce, and they split his votes, whatever, and each one of those decided to not vote for Dunleavy, but voted for Walker or Gara. Those numbers could totally blow up their numbers to the point where eventually, when they drop Gara or Walker, one of the two, that the other one may pick up more votes than what Dunleavy has, kicking him from that position. So their choice voting really is not, I just don't like it. I think it's Sinbad says Alaska, red sweep. Let's hope. But this lady here, Lisa Murkowski. Lisa Murkowski is, though she looks like she's GOP red, is a rhino. She needs to be removed from the position. And I'm not saying that Chabatska is necessarily the best thing, but that's the Trump back. That's the Trump back one. And that's the issue. Is you can see how close in voting they really are. So we can hope with this ranked choice voting that they have, that when they drop Nolan and Kelly from their 3,000 some odd votes, that it gives her enough votes to overcome Murkowski and get that over that 50% rank that they need. So as far as it goes right now, if we could still be screwed under that whole rule, whatever, and Murkowski could be the one.
Even if she is a rhino, even if rhinos are getting voted in, they're at least they're Republicans in some sense.
But they're not. They're just using the name to actually make themselves sound good, and they're not good. They're horrible for the situation. They need to go away.
Matters is which way they'll vote when shit goes to the House and it goes to Senate.
The thing is this is all ranked choice voting or whatever. So, and we've covered this at the beginning or whatever. Is basically what happens is you vote 1, 2, 3, and 4 for who you feel that's your best vote, whatever. So then, the top ranked ones will actually keep and they drop somebody, and they split the votes to what the ones that they dropped to their second vote. And then the ones that drop off of the next one, they go to the third vote to actually split it, to where they want. So what we're looking at here really just may be nothing. It's just a bunch of numbers on the screen. We have no clue what's exactly happening because of the ranked choice voting. The ranked choice voting is crap. It needs to go away. If you don't know what ranked choice voting is, I totally suggest that you look it up, because that's what they'll try pushing and try doing in the United States.
They're still gonna have a majority after the midterms. They're still gonna have the majority.
It doesn't matter if you have the majority when you got a bunch of rhinos in there. You don't want those, because they're still going to go along with what the left wants.
Do you think that these people would have voted for the
They do. That's the thing. They vote for this crap. They vote for the crap that we don't want.
No, it was split in half. It was split in half, and they had to have what's her dumbass, the vice president. I don't even Kamala. She got to make the choice on the last shit.
Yeah, and a lot of these rhino people, I mean, sure, they got all their backing by the globalist people, and a lot of them are puppets. But at the same time, if they feel the pressure and the heat from the people, that's also going to be on them as well. And so they're going to have to be like with Manchin, right? Like Manchin is a globalist hacky, but he also feels the pressure from his constituency, which is all pro-Trump. So he's trying to play both sides, but of course he goes along with the globalist hackies because, again, the Democrat Party, he gets all of his money from the Dems, everything from them, whereas the Republicans, they get a lot from, people on the ground and from globalist people and from others as well. So theirs is a bit of a mixed bag, a little bit more so than the Dems.
It was 0 Republicans and 100% Democrats voted on it, and well, we're split in the middle, so she got to make the choice. Like on a.
Do you remember what that was that she actually voted on?
Where they get to print more.
Do you remember what that was that she voted on? Or you just remember that she actually come up and she actually voted on it?
It was on the. Wasn't that the
that was a good question. Because you don't know the answer.
No, it was the something whatever at.
That was a good question. You are so fucked.
Yeah. No, it wasn't that on the. I don't fucking know, Frog. Fuck you.
I was just asking a question if you remembered.
I don't remember, you motherfucker. Fuck you.
I don't know. I've seen his question for you.
Brian asked me. He says, "Yeah, did you see the CIA had to release a statement detailing the level of training they were involved in Ukraine? They said they trained the Yahtzee army there for Ukraine, the Stasi, as he puts it. I knew that.
The Stasi is
I don't
the
know.
United States form of the Yahtzees.
Well, right. I didn't know that they put out a statement recently, but I do know that is what they were doing in the background. I do know that.
They had to make me a dumbass.
That's
hey, Brian, if you have that statement that they actually released, throw it in show setup for us or whatever, and we'll try covering it tomorrow. Because tomorrow's another news day for us. So
need the government release the statement, or they
normally we did our throwdown on Monday because dude couldn't make it for Thursday.
But yeah, I mean, we have discussed that they were officially doing a lot of that.
I'll get it.
And again,
yeah, that's awesome.
Grimm was even making the comparison.
We'll totally cover that tomorrow if that's the case.
Right. Grimm is even making the comparison to what happened in Charlottesville with a lot of those Yahtzee people as well, and the connections there. It's the same skull masks, the same sort of background, and so forth. So, sorry, Dwight was trying to get in there.
Yeah, I was trying to jump in because you made me look like a dumbass. So what was it, Frog?
Like I said, I was just asking to see if you knew. We did cover it last week or whatever because we actually threw it up there or whatever. I want to say it had something to do with the damn it. I'm drawing blanks myself. I don't remember what it was either. I was just asking if you remembered.
You're such a piece of shit. How you gonna tell me? How you gonna tell me he was about to be a piece of
I
shit?
mean, you don't. I didn't call you anything. I just asked you if you remembered what it was.
You said a piece of shit.
I never said the words. You said those words.
That's awesome.
Oh, M. Schwartz says, "Whoa, ukes are
Brahma.
not Yahtzees."
Sure,
M.
no,
Schwartz, go
Sure.
back to my Rumble. I have a whole slew of videos
Oh,
detailing everything.
Not
Go
all
watch those.
Ukrainians are, but there's this group called Azov Battalion that are.
And
Shirts is
others, but yes.
Hey, Shirts, my lady loves you. Shirts.
Huh?
No, I just think that he's smart.
He thinks
Oh, well,
thinks
thanks.
that you're very smart.
Well, thanks.
I think he's the reasonable.
He is
one.
smart. That's why he's here.
Yeah, he's the reasonable. What? I'm gonna shut up.
She's saying you're the reasonable one.
Yeah,
Whereas-
the Senate passed. It was the Inflation Reduction Act that they just passed out of the Senate today that she actually did the 50-50 split on.
Anyway,
Because we just today that they actually just passed it through the House that he just signed. That it came back through the House. It was already passed through the Senate last week, with Kamala Harris doing the 51st vote, being the 51st vote to pass that through. It was the
Yes,
Inflation Reduction Act.
the woman whose pronouns are she and her and wearing the blue sweater
okay,
or shirt, the blue suit.
The blue suit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, well,
Yeah. She's a she, her wearing a. I thought it was turquoise, but I think that was just.
She called it blue just because she had to look at it. She didn't even know what she was wearing until she looked down.
She should have won with. She should have won. She should have won with turquoise because that would have been like. It would have been more inclusive. Than blue.
Schwartz says, "I'm Ukrainian. You want the real info on the Ukraine? I'll go with you toe to toe any day."
Go watch my videos. I've already made all of my
Oh,
statements.
pull that bitch in. But if she wants to fucking talk, pull her in.
And I'm
Well,
not saying that
we'll
every
do that another
single
time.
individual.
We're going on 3 hours right now.
And I've never stated, and Brian isn't stating, that every single individual in Ukraine is Yahtzee. Nobody's made that mention of that. Nobody said anything like that.
Dude, if we have
So
the
just so that we're clear, so I won't say that
we're
anyone's
not
being
down talking
disingenuous,
you
but
at all because obviously, like I said, there are some straight up Ukrainians or whatever that are in there that aren't part of the Azov battalion, but there's several of them, which is the reason why Putin actually come out and said that's what he was doing, was to fight off them quote unquote Azov battalion Yahtzees. So I mean, again, not all of them, and we're not arguing with you, and there's no reason to. We're just saying that's what the issue is.
Frog, if you have the ability, if you have the ability to talk to someone from the fucking Ukraine, fucking do it, man.
Oh, I've talked to her several times. We're not going to do it. We're not going to do that right now. We're already 3 hours into this show, dude. That's it's.
You're worried about.
We can actually bring her in one of these days, and we'll actually do a straight up talk if we need to or whatever, and spend the time that she deserves, as opposed to doing it at the end of a 3 hour thing that might not get heard. We want her to be. If we want her to be heard, doing it at the end of a show with the right place to do it.
Make it a 5 hour thing. I want to hear.
We're not going to make it a 5 hour show. No.
I want to hear how the Ukraine's doing.
It's not happening. It's not happening. I'm telling you right now. We're going to give her the time that she deserves at the beginning of a show to actually speak her piece. If that's what she would like to do, we can do that sometime. We can. I'm not gonna stick her at the end of a show to only not get heard. I want her to be heard by everybody, not just the couple people, the 24 people that are left. Thank you very much for watching. But I want her to actually get a good audience on it and actually get her point and her voice actually heard.
Dude,
Sparkle X before we
exactly. There's the last comment right there. M Sport says, Dwight, Koolfrogg shirts are cool. I know they'll hear me out and vice versa. So yeah, we've talked to her several times.
Yeah, sure,
and we can totally hold that conversation. I'm done with that. Why don't we pencil that in right now? We'll pencil you in for next week, Thursday for the whatever. We'll have you in.
I'm so fucking like I so much want to hear. I want to hear.
But he's not. You're right. He's refusing to listen to what we're saying. So we want to give her the time that she deserves. It's 1 o'clock in the morning for me right now, which makes it 3 o'clock in the morning for AmericaShirts. He's not going to want to stick around for another 2-3 hours or whatever. I want to give her the time that she deserves. If she wants, we can figure it out. I mean, we can actually bring her in for a talk about the Ukraine and how it actually, hear her side of the.
And like they're probably.
She says again, Dwight, we're good. That's what she said. That's not what. Here, I'll bring it up on screen.
We're good. I want to talk to her though. I want to talk to her like so bad, or him, or whatever.
Her. I've talked to her several
maybe
times.
They'll get on
she
Discord.
is in Discord. I mean, if you want to talk to her, you can always do that.
Sparkle S is asking, any news on Palin? Can you scroll down there, Koolfrogg, on that page and see where Palin's at? I do believe she's still in the lead. She was in a good lead there earlier, and I think she'll probably win that out for the Republican side of the aisle. That is, of course, as you can see, there's more counted.
Refresh this real quick just to be sure that we're actually in the right.
Jump into Discord on Koolfrogg's channel since he's gonna kill it.
She is. She's there.
All right. I want to talk to her.
She's there. If you want to talk to her, we'll line you up. Go jump in chat. She'll come in there in a little bit. Maybe she's willing to do so. If she's not willing to do so, don't pressure her to do it until she's ready to do it.
No, I'm not pushing anybody for nothing. But
no, I'm just saying. Just give her to actually. Like I said, if she's wanting to speak with you tonight, she'll jump in Discord and you can go talk to her.
Okay,
if she still wants to do a show, whatever, she can come do a show, and we'll invite you and tell you that, hey, this show actually happened, so that way you can go back and rewatch it.
And we're going to use.
I know that you have certain work schedules that you only available on the couple days of the week. I get that, so we'll get it figured out for you.
If Palin is winning in the GOP again, just for everybody. For the GOP side, for their congressional district, the state of Alaska, again, they are just one congressional district. Same with the state of Wyoming. She's in the lead in the Republican side right now, and it is in.
Are you showing any other different numbers? Can you see any different numbers than what I'm showing? I'm showing a 49% updated. If you're showing better numbers, we'll pull that up on screen. And it looks like Sinbad says it's not a put down. I'm just saying that in my experience, I'm a small rural town with a large Ukrainian immigration population. So why am I wrong? Oh, she's having a conversation with her.
Yeah, she's having.
So I mean, if there's a conversation to actually be had with all that or whatever, and the both of you, have.
My numbers are the same.
I mean, we can expand the throwdown. It doesn't have to just be 3 people in the room or whatever.
I'm gonna be rude and I'm gonna say homegirl from the Ukraine. I'm in Koolfrogg's chat and I totally want to talk to you.
He's in there as Dwight Zombie, like he is here as Dwight.
Yeah. So if you want to
hold a conversation with him tonight, you're more than welcome to
Yeah, and thanks, Koolfrogg, for having the.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely, brother.
Yeah, man. Like I told, dude, I'm so
She says I'll gladly go on Discord and speak with everyone after the stream. So yeah, anybody that wants to actually jump in on that conversation.
all right.
Sounds
Well,
like there's going to be a conversation going on afterwards that go along with
after
the Ukraine stuff.
all right, all right. So I'm gonna kill the Discord right now. But after the stream, please talk with me. I totally want to talk with you. Sorry.
Brian, if you have anything you want to send our direction of, like, documents that we haven't been able to look at as of yet, send it over
That's why I
on the
told him. I
Discord.
said if he can throw those into live show chat. He said he
Totally.
sent me an email, so I'll check that email afterward.
I do have a video on.
We'll see what's
collabs.
interesting to see if what we can add to tomorrow's show, because tomorrow's show is supposed to be a regular news night, being that we held our throwdown on Monday. So there's a couple that are speaking of your internet. It's just your internet, right? You hadn't been drinking tonight?
No, I've been drinking. Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me?
How much have you been drinking tonight?
No, I've been drinking since like 11 a.m. I've been drinking all fucking day.
All day? Dang, bro.
All day, bro. All day.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're holding yourself up from what you're actually saying you are. So I mean,
meme copium.
I've heard you kicked you out for it.
Madcore.
Madcore, he sounds very wasted. So yeah, I mean, as far as that goes, be cool in Discord if you decide to go do that.
I need to be wasted to be as smart as you guys. I need to be wasted.
I need to be wasted to be as smart as you guys. Oh, okay.
Sorry, not sorry.
Ish, yeah, I get it.
I love you, Frog. Shirts. I love you too, and I love you.
Okay, he's getting into that. We'll talk to you later, Dwight.
It's brotherly love, Koolfrogg.
Yeah, no, I get you. Trying to keep my sleep on schedule. I'll come in tomorrow if wants to, but I can't do it all nighter again. No, we'll try scheduling something for next week or whatever, because I'm not going to do a second throwdown this week. I just can't. I can't. I need to. Tomorrow night's going to be just as interesting as tonight. Hopefully, we'll see. We'll see what happens. And why does my screen keep on jumping? I don't get why it jumps so much. I've heard them a lot worse than that. That's for sure. We'll kind of calm down our audience a little bit from the hecticness of what was going on. Look at that. Palin looks like she's still not winning, but again, this is their ranked choice voting is going to totally be different. Trying to keep my sleep on schedule. Yeah, like I said, we'll try doing it next week, so that way we actually have enough time early enough to actually hold a conversation. If you both want to come join us, I can, I can support that. That'd be okay. We can bring both of you, and you can, we can speak of. I'll be your moderators. Make sure that you guys aren't overstepping each other and something or other. We'll work it out. Sinbad says, Good night. Sleep well, dear.
Yeah, later. Hope you sleep well.
Yeah, Memento says at least he was a happy drunk. He kind of was. Like he was, like I don't know. It wasn't as bad. I've heard him so much worse. So there's that. Go. He composed himself very well. If y'all didn't realize it last night, I mean, I had a couple glasses of whiskey. I was pretty, lit up by the end of the night. But as you can tell, I didn't sound like I was being like that because nobody called me out for it. They're all like, nobody probably even realized that I was even doing such a thing. I'm gonna pull that off with her and put us up on.
She
screen.
wants to hit you up on the disco. You all gonna
disco? She wants to hit
gonna
me
like
up
disco
on the disco
party. You're gonna like John Travolta or whatever. Whatever the hell that movie was.
Because he's in that general whatever. When you actually, I'll pull you in private and we can talk to each other real quick before you go back and talk to him if you're going to. Just go into that general room for the moment until I get there. We are going to actually go away. We are at the 3-hour mark.
We are.
Yes, we are. You're okay, right? 3 o'clock in the morning for you? You're good?
Yep, we're good.
Okay. So, all that being said, make sure you check out AmericaShirts.com.
That is AmericaShirts.com, the most based shirts on the planet that you'll probably be able to find. You can save 15% off anything in the store by using the discount code Koolfrogg. Get yourself an awesome based t-shirt. Get yourself the Abolish the FBI, abolish them. Get that t-shirt that is available now. Go show your support for the movement to get rid of these corrupt Stasi in America. Enough is enough.
And of course,
Go
I'm
get yourself one
Koolfrogg.
now.
If you want to support me immediately, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/cool. Link down in the description. If that does not work for you, make sure that you hit up my locals and my Rumble channel. And if you're going to go to Rumble and you're going to hit me up, make sure you check out America Shirts Rumble channel as well. All that being said, say goodbye, everybody.
Later, peeps.
Later.
Have fun.